I just closed something. I don't know what I closed, but I'll find out soon enough. I just set something up, and then when you're done, I accidentally pressed the X button, but I can't even remember what I pressed X for. I'll find out soon enough. I think oh god, never mind. Jonathan says hi. I want your advice. I want a phone. Which one should I buy? You're coming to the right person. How much do you want to spend on it, I guess? And what do you want to use it for? Stefan says literally, oh my god. Oh, what happened? Has something happened? Or is the fact that I've made a appearance after a week, is that the shocking thing? Charlotte says, hey. Grace says, hello, hope you're good. Yeah, not too bad. How are you? Hope you're good. Mr. Default says, United. But it doesn't let him, from what I remember last time, TikTok does not allow 3 Uniteds in one message, so that's why they split. Unfortunately, I saw that you won yesterday, which was a bit of a shame. But, was it 2-0? I think Mbuemo and Fernandez, maybe. But yeah, saw that you won yesterday, which is pretty good. I want to hear something crazy, as always. Fish says, yo, how's it going, Fish? Hope you're doing good. Zaim says hi. Zaim noticed my comment on the Ekatike video. Why did Ekatike make that face? You know when they asked him, do you like Shevchenko or Eto'o? And he was like, oh, Shevchenko, Eto'o. He's got some sort of beef with Shevchenko that I did not know about. Mr. Defoe's backing Liverpool today. I want to take that as a positive, but that's probably a negative, because it probably means you don't see Liverpool as any sort of threat. Like they're just there. If they win, it doesn't matter. So it's a positive in some sense, but also a negative in another sense. A week has been too long. Has it been a week? It feels like it's been maybe longer than that, but I think you're right. Grace is good. To help us get closer to Villa and City. Yeah. Understandable. I don't even want to look at the table at the moment. I think Liverpool are 5th, maybe 6th. But the good news is they do seem to be in a bit of form. What I don't like, I can't lie. What I don't like is, now this is going to sound controversial. I like Ekatike, but everybody the past week, all these pundits have been acting like he's the second coming of Ronaldo, and suddenly he's the best thing ever. I mean, guys, slow down. Why do we have to constantly deal in such extremes? Either a player is rubbish or a player is the best striker in the league. I don't understand it. Recently as well, people were hating on Cole Palmer, and then he scored a couple of goals yesterday, and now suddenly Cole Palmer's amazing as well. The reactionariness is a bit annoying. They've kicked off. I'll set that timer in a bit. Fish says, you heard Celtic signed Oxlade-Chamberlain. I saw that yesterday. It's probably a good signing, to be honest. I don't know why, but it just feels like it kind of fits for him. It's probably a good signing for him. A good signing for Celtic and a good club for him. Because I think he got released from Besiktas, didn't he? But playing in a Celtic team where he's gonna get a lot of the ball and he's gonna have good opportunities, we should see quite a few goals. Grace says, "Come on, Liverpool." I'm liking that. We need a win to keep up with the top 5. Indeed, we do. As depressing as that is, you are correct. I think Liverpool will win today. I think Grace was asking earlier for predictions, and I was like, you know what? I've got a feeling Liverpool are going to win this. I think Liverpool are winning this 2-1. That's probably going to be my prediction. I should set this damn timer. I know I always say I want to get rid of it, but I will set it. Milan, I'm an Arsenal fan. Win for us today. Yeah, it's I hear where you're coming from. It's one of those things where I know it's meant as a positive, but I take it negatively because it means we're not a threat. It means we're losers. It means we're insignificant. So I kind of see both sides. Grace has nice hat. I thought you wouldn't like this. I thought you would not like this, to be honest, because you tend to like the ones that have more going on. So I was worried you would not like this. Is in the 11? I think you're talking about your arch nemesis, and he is. So the team is unchanged from the Newcastle game. Imagine if we lose to West Ham, so that guy can't cut his hair. Have you got 4 wins then? Is that 4 wins on the bounce, or is it 3? But I forgot about that. What was he called? The United Strand. Damn, that would be surprising. I can't lie, because I've always been confused, or should I say, I've always felt like he would never have that opportunity to grow his hair, to cut his hair even. Good for him, I guess. The thing is, though, have you seen him with no hair? It doesn't look good with no hair. I think he looks better with this weird hairstyle. Jonathan wants to buy a phone for £2. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you can really buy for £2, to be honest. You might be struggling there. Jake, Grace has a joke of the day. Go for it. Let me know what that is. Stefan says, keep the timer, keep the hat, keep the beard. Yeah, I think you're right. Let me set this fucking hell. The second fucking time, right? I'm trying to set the fucking timer. I was going to set the fucking thing a minute ago, and they put stats on the screen. And when they put stats on the screen, they hide the timer. So I said, you know what? I'll just get through some comments. Wait a second. As soon as I was going to set it for a second time, they put fucking possession stats on the screen again. It's just really annoying. Really irritating that that's happened twice now. But now it's showing me a timer. Where are we? 4 minutes. 10 seconds. There we go. Oh, I thought so, yeah. Because typically you prefer the hats that have a bit more going on. So I thought you wouldn't like this because you don't like the plain ones. To be honest, I probably need to order some more hats. Semenyo hits it over the bar. Arsenal, City, Fulham, Spurs. Those are your 4 wins. And next one's West Ham. Yeah, to be honest, is that West Ham at home or is that West Ham away? But to be honest, you're in pretty good form, so I think he will finally be able to cut his hair. Is McAllister in the 11? He is in the 11. It's an unchanged team from the Newcastle win. Ooh, why did Ekatike jump over the ball there? Jalil says Linders at City looks wrong. Yeah, it's looked wrong for a while. Sometimes something looks wrong at the start, and then over time you get used to it. I can't say I've ever gotten used to it, to be honest. Oh, Stefan's 20 seconds ahead. I'll see if I can somehow get ahead. Maybe if I refresh. You played COD today? Not today. I was playing yesterday. To be fair, they've released season 2, which is the new maps. It's alright. It's fine. But it's more of the same, to be honest. So yeah, I was playing yesterday. What is really annoying on Call of Duty is just the kind of sheer amount of cheaters. And I'm not saying that from a butthurt perspective. Like, I'll be through a wall and there'll be a guy like following me with his gun through the wall, like this, following me through the wall, and then as soon as I pop out the door, will shoot me. And it's like, come on. So I'm starting to lose faith in Call of Duty, to be honest with you, because it's just they never truly do anything about the cheaters, and it's way worse on PC, I gotta say. Isabel says, yo 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 yo, how you doing, Isabel? Hope you are good. I don't have any impressive cooking to report back on this week. I've been a bit lazy. But I hope you are well. I bet bro Loki wants to lose so he can stay relevant. Yeah, so this is the United Strand guy, right? Yeah, it would make sense. It's one of those things where once you've kind of cut your hair, then the novelty and the fascination has disappeared. And you can make another thing. You can say, I don't know, I'm not going to cut my hair until Man United win a trophy, but it's not the same. It's not the same second time round. Mamouche has been fouled by Kanate. Oh, you played 2 matches and you've lost both. Is it Warzone? Is it Warzone that you're playing? Warzone is a lot more difficult because there's so many more enemies. That's why I like playing small maps, 6 versus 6, because I find that a bit easier. Okay, so I've managed to refresh and my time on the screen is wrong. I'm actually 8 minutes 50-ish. There you go. Isabel has also been lazy this week. It's been one of those weeks. And I don't think the weather helps. It's just constant. It's just been constantly raining, and I just find that whenever it's constantly raining, you then can't be bothered to do anything, or I can't at the very least. Made a mutton curry. Nice. How was that? Sounds pretty good. Oh, Grace, you're playing the same one as me. So what game mode are you playing? Are you playing... Because you know on Call of Duty there's lots of specific game modes. Like, are you playing Team Deathmatch or one of the others? Isabel's going to fancy junk food today. Wagyu bacon cheeseburger with homemade tater tots and chili cheese dipping sauce. I mean, that I'm not surprised that was yummy. That sounds pretty amazing. How do you make, out of curiosity, how do you make your cheeseburger? Because I've tried it on the hob. I've tried it in the air fryer. I've tried it in the grill. I'd be interested to know what your recommendation is for how to make it. In the air fryer, it was decent, but it just didn't get much of a sear on it, which I don't like as much. But on the pan, it's pretty good, but you need a lot more control, I find. Because I think on the pan there's a danger that you cook the outside but not the middle. So I'd be interested to know what your recommendation is. Mr. Default says you cook them. Yeah, I wouldn't say like I'm a professional chef or anything. I'd say I'm an amateur. I'm an amateur chef, like experimenting in the kitchen. Cooking a beef burger is pretty easy. It's a lot easier than cooking a chicken burger. Oh shit, Mamouche is through, but it hits it wide. But yeah, I've never been 100% satisfied with how they turn out. You got Black Ops 7 for free because you have Game Pass Ultimate. That is a flex, to be fair, especially these days. There's quite a few good games on Game Pass at the moment. Outer Worlds 2, that's pretty good. But yeah, Black Ops is a solid choice. Domination, Deathmatch, and the other one, So it wasn't the game mode that I hate, which is hard point. But yet, to be honest, with Call of Duty, it just requires a bit of practice. A lot of it is how familiar you are with the maps, if you know what I mean. That determines how successful you are. Oh, that makes sense why I get ill. I usually eat them raw. Funnily enough, I have actually eaten raw beef. When I was working for a different company, they paid to go for like an expensive dinner thing. And one of the things they served was raw beef. And I felt like, okay, I'm never going to get the chance to eat this ever again. I might as well have it. And yeah, it was weird. I would not recommend it. Fish says, how good was Alonso? Alonso was, oh shit. Alonso was really good, to be honest. Alonso in that midfield was perfect because you had Alonso, who was, you could say, the deep creative player. You had Mascherano, who was the destroyer. And you had Gerrard, who could do a bit of both. So I'd say he was a key part of the team. And then he had that little bust up with Rafa. And Liverpool ended up getting Aquilani, who was rubbish. Arbeloa was decent. He's a decent right back. Albert Riera was not that great. Albert Riera was one of those players who looked very good. Like he looked the part, but to be honest, he was kind of rubbish. Liverpool in all three varieties of shirt again. Short sleeve, short with long undershirt, and long sleeved. Yeah, I remember you mentioned this. You mentioned this last time. There is no consistency in the shirts. It could be because of the weather, I guess, because the weather's a bit weird at the moment. We'll have to see towards the end of the season if there's a bit more consistency. Jonathan is insistent on buying a phone for £2. I guarantee you will not be able to buy a phone for £2. Heck, I bought a phone charger the other day and it cost me like £10. Cheese sauce is basic, 2 tablespoons butter, 2 tablespoons flour. Keep feeding it with milk until it's semi-thick. So is it being whisked as you are adding these ingredients? Keep feeding it with milk until it's semi-thick, and then cheese. I use a homemade mix: mozzarella, cheddar, red Leicester goes in. Wow, sounds pretty good. I think I'm gonna have to give that a try. Yeah, I forgot about that. I've actually got a burger smasher thing, which you just reminded me about. So I'll give that a try. Jonathan, you're not going to buy a phone for £2. Rudra says, hey, how's it going, Rudra? Hope you are good. Then what about £100? You could probably buy some sort of... I mean, it depends if you want an Android phone or an iPhone. You can probably buy a new Android phone for £100, but if you're assistant on an iPhone, you could probably get a refurbished one for that much. Rudra loves the jersey. Thank you. I don't mind it. It's a bit different. Which I think makes it kind of cool. I do wish the green was a bit darker, but it is what it is. Cast iron pan. Again, you reminded me again. I've got one of those as well. Cast iron pan. Burger goes down. Weight on top to smash it. Cast iron. Burger weight. I see. Yeah, I've definitely got a cast iron pan. I stopped using it because corner for Man City. I can't remember why I stopped using it, to be honest. But yeah, you've reminded me. I actually have a lot of these things in my kitchen. I've just not used them for a while. Grace says you can get Whisper for £2. I bought a Whisper the other day that I mentioned. It was a Whisper Dio, and it cost me £1.40, and it was absolutely amazing. £100 iPhone. Look, there's this website called Music Magpie that sells refurbished iPhones. You can maybe have a look on there. I've bought some. I think I bought my watch from there. So it's pretty decent stuff. Let's make Arsenal win the league, says Rudra. To be honest, I'm getting quite concerned that you might win the league. Google Pixel is a good option. Very good camera. Leon says game is a bit even right now. Yeah, it's very congested, I'd say. Very congested at the moment. Stefan says you missed 2 very dull League Cup semis in midweek. Yes, indeed. So it was Arsenal, Chelsea, I think, and Spurs, City, I think. I'm kind of glad I didn't watch them. To be honest, I was exhausted from work, so I just didn't have the energy. But it sounds like I did not miss much. Rudra says Pixels better. Rudra agrees with Isabel. Pixels are good. What are they up to now? Is it Pixel 10? Is it Pixel 10 that they're up to? Which means if Jonathan's looking for a phone, you could probably buy one of the older ones and get a good deal. Fish says next match is you streaming. Next Liverpool game, which will be midweek. And then the Brighton game on Saturday, Sunday. £235 off computer exchange. Yeah, 5-year warranty is a big thing. I learnt about that this week when I was looking at some. I was looking at like a handheld gaming console for my next flight. And yeah, 5-year warranty on everything's pretty good. That's another thing. That's another thing to look for when you get a refurbished phone. Ensuring it has a warranty. Mr. Defoe knows what I mean with Music Magpie. I love Music Magpie. I think this laptop, this MacBook is from Music Magpie. This watch might have been, but I can't remember. But I've constantly bought and sold stuff with them over the years, and I've had no issues. Sometimes when you sell things, you get a bit less money compared to, say, selling it privately, but I'd rather not take the risk with selling it privately and then the person says, oh, the phone didn't arrive, and then you get scammed. At least you know that you won't get scammed, I think. We've started poorly. Indeed, we have, which is why we've been talking about food and also phones. Nothing has happened in this game so far. My current phone is there. Yeah, and I sold my old one there as well. Yeah, I've used them proactively, maybe for about 10 years. They're not always the cheapest, but they're a good option to check. They're a good option to check. I've definitely bought quite a few things and sold quite a few things with them. Your Whispers is a 99p. It cost me £1.40. Am I getting ripped off? No, but it was a Whisper Duo. It was a duo, with like 2 Whispers in it. One of those, because I was feeling hungry AF. It was really good. Second half of the season, we're doing a title charge. I really hope not, but I'd rather you win it over Arsenal, because that would just be so funny. Marmoush hits it wide. That would literally be the funniest thing. If United win the league over Arsenal. It would be funny. City RMS. Both teams are being cautious. 10 comes out this year, I think. Is that the Pixel? I think the Pixel 10 might be out. But I'm not sure. No, I'm fairly sure it's out. I'm fairly sure the Pixel 10 came out a few months ago. Yeah, but you don't have to get the latest iPhone. You could probably get, if you want to spend £100 on an iPhone, you could get an iPhone SE. then you're cooking. We're facing Milner on Valentine's Day. Indeed, we are. Do you know if he's playing? Oh, Jesus. They've just put stats on the screen, right? So, passes in the final third. Liverpool 1 pass in the final third. Man City 31. So, just keep that in mind. Yeah, do you know, Fish, if Milner is proactively playing in that team, or what the situation is with him? Is he a bench player? Is he a squad player? Or what is the situation with Milner? Rudra says that was rank. Bad challenge. By who? You'll have to tell me. I think that was a few minutes back. Grace says, how's your day been? Usual. Tiring, exhausting, but that's my life. How's your day been? Hope your day has been good. Isabel says, iPhones never last. They even got in trouble years back that they were purposely releasing updates in bigger sizes to slow them down and make the battery run out quicker. That is one of, yeah, I have noticed that in the past, where this iPhone I've got is pretty new. This one's quite new, but in the past, when I say new, I didn't buy it new because I never buy phones new. But this is the 16, I think. This is a 16 Pro, and I think 17 Pro is out. But I have noticed in the past, when they release updates, the new update will be very slow on the old phone. So they do misbehave a bit when it comes to updates. We are getting toyed around, getting pretty dominated. Fish says, I look like this thing. I guarantee I don't look like whatever it is he's telling me. But I think he wants me to Google it, that's why. What? It's like a plate of noodles. Shit, it's not coming up on the screen. Let me see. It's a corner to Man City, so if I Google your thing, that means it won't go in, right? Is this the right thing? You're telling me I look like a plate of noodles. What's that about? Have I Googled the right thing, or is there something else? Have you typed it incorrectly? I'm tempted to think I have Googled the right thing, but you'd have to correct me. Grace doesn't know if she's going out on Valentine's Day. If I am, I'm gonna be upset because I'll miss Liverpool playing. But you can always watch the highlights when you get back. Gakpo doing quite good there. Jonathan says my friends will make fun of me if I get. Oh, Salah scored. Has that gone in? Or is he taking a corner? Mr. Default says you look like football live chat. I don't. He looks like me. Oh, that's gone wide. Yeah, he missed. It's just because he was running off, and I'm like, is he doing that? Is he doing that thing where he's not celebrating? He's just trying to be hard. He's just trying to be tough. Yeah, corner. It just confused me for a second because he was running off, and I'm like, is this a celebration? Is he doing the cool celebration where he doesn't celebrate? But no, it's a corner. Yeah, we have been poor, as Jalil is saying. But to be fair, City's kryptonite recently has been they've started very, very fast, and then they can't keep that up. In particular, they can't keep that up for the second half. So if we can kind of absorb the pressure here, hopefully we can get a goal in a bit. Stefan says, have you noticed teams don't wear away kits and third kits anymore? They wear their home kit away. I have noticed that. I think some of it comes down to the colours. I think The way I understand it is the primary focus isn't necessarily to wear the away kit in an away match. The primary focus is to ensure the colours don't clash. So if the home team is blue, but the away team's home kit is red, then they'll just go with that. But yeah, this green kit, it's barely ever gonna get worn because Liverpool will wear the red kit, and if the red kit's gonna clash, they'll wear the Ecru kit, which is the away kit. But this green kit is not it's not gonna get worn. That's true. As Isabel says, if they're making fun of you because of your phone, then they're not your friends. Fish says we're Tongan and Alderweireld. Are we getting battered with passes? To be honest, yes. They've had one pass. Sorry, Liverpool have had one pass in the final third. Man City have had 31. But I think Man City are gonna cool down a bit, or should I say they're gonna run out of energy over time. We need a right back desperately. Szoboszlai is much better in midfield. We do need a right back desperately. If only there was a window where they could have signed a right back. my whole thing for the right back position, in terms of what my opinion is, if I made the rules, which I don't, but if I made the rules, I'd keep Frimpong. I would loan out Conor Bradley to a Premier League. Club because I like the guy. He's talented. He's skillful. He has all the right attributes, but the guy just cannot stay fit. I swear Conor Bradley gets about 17 injuries a season. So what I would do is I'd keep Frimpong. I would loan out Conor Bradley, and then I'd buy another right back. Because you just can't persist with Conor Bradley. Even when Conor Bradley comes back, from injury, is there any point to that? In the sense that you just know he's gonna get injured again after about 6 games. So what's the point? So I'd loan out Conor Bradley to another Premier League team, just to ensure he can get a bit of rhythm and a bit of experience, and I'd buy another right back. The right back thing just irritates me because the flip side is, as Rudra1 has said, you lose Szoboszlai's aggression. Szoboszlai is isolated at right back, whereas you need him running up and down the pitch in the middle of the park. That's what I would do. Carlos says we should press more, just like at the start of the game. Kusanov is struggling with it. We should. That's just funny. All Liverpool players and supporters are bell ends. That's just kind of funny. I like the use of the actual bell. It's to be honest, that was my prediction as well. What I was thinking before the game was 2-1 Liverpool. And I was thinking Salah's going to score and Gakpo's going to score and Semenyo is going to score for City. Do you prefer Call of Duty or Payday 3? They're both good. To be honest. They're different. But they're both good games. If you force me to pick one, I'd probably pick Payday 3 because it's more of a unique game compared to Call of Duty. Rudra says, let's make Arsenal an ally. What do you mean by that? What's the best animal? Footballer, scorpion. Took me a second to get that. Zame says Gakpo has been terrible. I mean, at this point, they need to just write that on his gravestone, because that sums him up. That sums up 99% of games that Cody Gakpo plays in. He gets the ball, and you know exactly what's going to happen. You know he's going to be very slow. You know he's going to be very lethargic. You know he's going to cut inside onto his right foot and then smack the ball over the bar. If we know this, then all the professionals on the pitch definitely know this as well. I just don't see the point of Gakpo anymore. I liked him last season because you had that balance with Luis Diaz, because Luis Diaz was the tricky fast winger who would go out wide. Gakpo was the complete opposite of that. So he was more of an inside forward who would always take a shot. So I like the balance. But now there's no balance. Now there's pure predictability. So it's honestly getting to the point where I'm mentally groaning as soon as I see him get the ball. Haaland, good shot, but good save. Rudra says Szoboszlai is a Hungarian professional footballer. Oh, right, you're just telling Jonathan who Szoboszlai is. But yeah, much better in midfield. He can do a job at right back. But I feel like he's a consistent 8 out of 10 in midfield. You put him at right back, maybe you get a 6 out of 10. Grace says, "What's a football?" That would be. I was gonna say that's Fernandez's favorite drink, but I can't because Mr. Default is here. Your new centre back is injured. I saw that yesterday. It's just hilarious, isn't it? It's just hilarious. I mean, you just gotta laugh. You just have to laugh at this. Liverpool bought an Italian centre back. Start of the season, played one game, got injured. Now Liverpool buy a French centre back. And in the very next game, he gets injured. I don't know how serious the injury is. Apparently, it's a shoulder injury. But it's just... What more can you say? It's a good thing he's still... still in France until the end of the season. Hopefully that should give him a bit of time to recuperate, but it's still simultaneously funny and depressing. I wonder what that means for Konate, whether Konate is going to stay. Is Konate going to go? Does anybody care? What's a Ghost's favorite position? Goalkeeper or goalkeeper? Stefan is asking a serious question here. Who is the best looking Liverpool player ever? Do you mean ever or in the current team? In the current team, it'd probably be Szoboszlai. But ever, I'd have to think about. But I'm pretty sure it'd be Szoboszlai in the current team. That's 2 new centre backs you've signed and you've been injured. Indeed, that is our life at the moment. If we had signed a midfielder, that midfielder would have gotten injured. That was a fair tackle by Konate, but foul given. Yeah, I was. To be honest, I don't miss any opportunity to hate on Bruno. But to be fair, he did get a goal yesterday, so probably can't hate too much. That's a fair shout. Alisson Becker. Alisson's pretty good looking. He's good looking when he has the beard. Whenever he shaves the beard, he just doesn't look right. Sometimes he gets this insane idea that he should shave his beard, and whenever he does that, it just does not work at all. Luke Littler lost against Van Veen. Is darts like constantly on these days? I just thought, like, I swear darts back in the day was not on as much as it is these days. But I'm sure he'll bounce back after a kebab from the shop. Fish says you're gonna go to the gym. Probably not today. I'll probably just go for a walk afterwards. Come on, Liverpool, do something. Do something useful. Do something useful. They're just very deep. In their own half at the moment. Right. Is it back on next week? Fair enough. Can't lie, Liverpool do look a bit scared of City, but I'm hoping they're just trying to absorb pressure and just trying to absorb the energy, and then in the second half they come out firing. But let's see. Liverpool literally doing a low block, which is kind of funny. Haaland was through, but I think Konate saved it. Jonathan's not my cousin. I don't know where that came from. Fish needs coffee and is that nail polish? I won't ask what you're gonna do with the nail polish. Cross by City, but that's gone out for a corner. Yeah, let's hope they're just absorbing pressure. It's a corner for City. The problem with corners these days is Liverpool don't have the pace to successfully break from that corner. Back in the day, you had Salah who was rapid. Back in the day, you had Mane who was rapid. But now you've got Gakpo who runs as fast as I do. Cross by Silva. Ain't nothing happening. It's just depressing watching Salah try to run these days. It's like a dog who used to be really, really fast, but isn't quite as fast anymore. And you know that he's trying. You can see him trying, but he just can't get to where he used to. Now, I'm not saying Salah should be put down. That's probably a bit harsh. But I do think Liverpool need a bit of pace. Ball gone over. Apparently Salah will be off to Saudi end of the season, which then opens up a right back spot. It's Pep Linders. It's Pep Linders in a Man City jacket. Yeah, that's still have not gotten used to that. Maradona regen Enzo. Is this Enzo Fernandez or is this a different Enzo that you're talking about? Yeah. Just asking for confirmation. Fish needs Awakens Force, as in Force Awakens, the computer game. No, not the. That's a movie. That's a movie, isn't it? Ooh, Liverpool got a free kick. Oh, not bad, not bad. Foul on Salah. Are they giving a penalty for that? I can't lie, it looked like a bit of a dive. What's happening? I don't have any volume. That's not a penalty for me. The thing is the referee pointed at the spot, but then why is Salah complaining? Surely he should be happy if they've given a penalty. I don't know what the issue is. It's crazy to say United are currently the best team in the league. It is pretty crazy. And to be fair, 4 games is a good amount of games, I think, to have a level of confidence that it's not a fluke. Like if it was just the City game, you could say okay, probably a bit of a fluke. But the fact that they've done that for 4 games now is probably a sign that things are looking up for United. Apparently, Ronaldo wants to leave Saudi, so whatever you do not re-sign Ronaldo again, because that would be a disaster. Van Dijk's gone down. Really? Would you take him? Would you still take him? I think you need to keep him away from your club as far as possible. Fish says Bowen, as in Jared Bowen, or a different Bowen. Ekitike through on the left. Adauma says not true. What did I say? What did I say that was wrong? Anfield is so quiet. That's to be honest, I'm not surprised. The whole kind of Anfield atmosphere thing is a bit. Yes, it does create an atmosphere when they're winning and when things are not going well. But when the team needs them to get behind them, they're not always as loud as they claim, to be honest. This should surely be one of those games where you would think, okay, they're going to do whatever they can to help the players on the pitch, but they don't. But you can bet. If Liverpool score, then they'll start sinking, and then suddenly everything's amazing. I just find that bizarre. If Liverpool score, then they'll get loud. But it's like, no, you should have gotten loud before that. So he can tie Mbuemo's boots before the game. Can't lie. I've said this before. I was always jealous of the Mbuemo signing. Because again, they didn't go for the Hollywood big name. They took the player. I'm not going to compare it to Sadio Mane, but it's a similar sort of thing where they took a player from a smaller team with a Premier League experience who was ready to take the step up. Which is why I always felt like that was a good signing. Fish says, buy me 76. Why that number? of Topps Premier League trading cards and give me a cake cup. What type of cake do you like? Have you got a favorite cake? Do you like red velvet cake? Do you like chocolate cake? Do you like carrot cake? Yeah, he is he's a good player. Liverpool were linked with him as well last year. Half time. So yeah, I'm kind of not too surprised he's doing well. I always thought he was pretty good. If you can consistently score for a lower level, if you can consistently score for a lower level team in the Premier League, was it Brentford that he was at? I think if you can consistently do that, then that's a good sign that you're ready to take the step up. Because then I wouldn't say there's no adjustment period, but there's very little adjustment period. Stefan says, same, a lot of big clubs. Stadium got bigger, but allocation to away fans went down, leading to lack of atmosphere between two sets of fans. Yeah, what I've noticed is the atmosphere seems to be contingent on the team performing well. So if the team scores, then atmosphere increases. Whereas if the team is rubbish, which is when you need the atmosphere, then atmosphere is lacking. SH, how you doing? Hello, mate. Thought I'd pop in for half time since I don't have the luxury of a dodgy Fire Stick over here. Got to watch it on my phone. Yeah, making ends meet. How have you got? Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm good. How's things with you? How goes the job hunt? Hope the job hunt is going well. If I recall, so you came back from Florence. I think you're back in the UK now. I'm not sure I've spoken to you since I went to Italy in December. It's pretty good. I didn't go to Florence. Went to Rome and Napoli, which is pretty good. Callum says we're just hoofing it. I mean, that's a perfect description of what we've seen for 45 minutes. Hoofing it up the pitch. Very defensive, very deep. What I'm hoping is happening is that Liverpool are trying to soak the pressure up, because City have been very bad in the second half in recent times. So I'm hoping soak pressure for first half and then much better in the second half. Chicken Wing, also known as Doge, also known as Custard Cream Sandwich, says, are you in the files? I am in the files. I am all over the files. Whenever you see a redaction, there's a good chance that's me. Probably shouldn't say that. As far as I'm aware, I'm not in the files. As far as I'm aware. Ah, yes, the timer. The timer that I'm trying to get rid of, because it gives me extra work to do. There we go. Back to 45 minutes. Back to 45 minutes. Zaim says, the way we play is why they're quiet. We can't build from the back. That's a fair point. They don't really give much to excite the people. It's very slow. It's like you're a lot louder at a rock concert than you are at a piano recital. And you could certainly say Liverpool's football under the last manager was more of a rock concert, so you can be a bit louder, you can be a bit more expressive. Whereas this, I wouldn't quite call it a piano performance, but it's trying to do that and kind of failing. Forced long balls and all of the play is in our own half. So slow tempo too. I'm just hoping that they're just trying to soak up the pressure and then they will strike City back in the second half. Grace says, can you tell Jonathan I said hi? I can. There you go. Grace says hi to Johnny. SH. Oh, are you in Napoli right now? Are you there right now? All is good, thanks. Yeah, we spoke just before you were. And did you enjoy it? Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed Napoli and Rome. When do you go to Japan? Not tomorrow, but next Monday. So in like 8 days. But yeah, looking forward to it. The annoying thing is there's only direct flights from London, so I'm going to London the day before because direct flight is 14 hours. So I figured, okay, let me go London the day before, stay over, and then just have a direct flight. Because if I didn't do a direct flight to Japan, I'd be looking at about 17 hours with a change, which I just can't be asked with. So yeah, next Monday. Looking forward to it, which means I won't be here for 3 weeks. just throwing that in there. Just throwing that in there. I will not be here for 3 weeks, but I'll be back after 3 weeks. CJ hates Liverpool now. I did a bet 1,000 to Ali and Donnarumma to save one shot in the first half. Is that £1,000? That's pretty massive bet. Ekitike has been off it. The whole team's been off it, but I'm hoping, yeah, as you said, hoping they'll be better in the second half. Considering how rubbish we've been, I'll take a 0-0. I still got a bit of hope. That this is some sort of master plan and they're going to come out firing in the second half. But if it's similar at about 60, 70 minutes, then I might take it. Billy says, think we started strong. City have been on us a bit, but other than that, we've been Brill cops booming. I've got a good feeling. I got a good feeling about the second half. And I rarely have good feelings. SH says, I knew this match was either going to be action-packed or snooze-fest. Yeah, it's definitely the first half. You're in Napoli now for Florence. Hey ho, Napoli was cool. I liked it. Lots of narrow kind of alleyways. I saw the Maradona thing. There's this giant Maradona statue. That was pretty cool. Lots of good things on the coast. There's like Castle. Is it Castle dell'Ovo or something? There's quite a few nice castles around there. Those were quite nice. You can also see Mount Vesuvius, I think, from the river, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I enjoyed Napoli. Napoli was good. How's it going, Wilfred? Hope you are good. Chicken Wing says, how many days you going for? It's just over. It's about 2.5 weeks in Japan, but I'm going to London the day before, and then when I'm back, I'm landing in London, and then I'm staying over, if that makes sense. So the whole thing is roughly going to be about 3 weeks, because I have to go to London, stay over in London, go to Japan the next day, and then on the reverse, on the return flight, land in London, stay in London, and then go back home the next day. So it's a bit of a faff. FH says, very jealous. Japan seems amazing. I hope so. It's I can't lie, it's very expensive. So I'm yet to see if it is gonna be. I don't want to say worth it, but I'm yet to fully make my mind up. But I've got I'm feeling good about it. I'm just not feeling good about the flight, which is why I ended up going for premium economy instead, which costs an extra fucking £1,000. But other than that, I'm hoping it'll be good. Can't make a 2-yard pass. I mean, can barely make a 1-yard pass, to be honest. King Sloth. Sloth accurately describes the players on the pitch. Yeah, I miss Firmino as well. It's one of those things where you don't know what you got till it's gone. Words has to start showing more. I think the whole team has to start showing more. Stefan says, what the hell? 3 weeks? I did not give you permission to go for 3 weeks. I will give you 10 days. 3 weeks is too much. Change your flights, please. Yeah, I've never been away for that long before. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, 3 weeks is a while. I don't think I'm going to miss too many Liverpool games. I will miss a few, but hopefully not too many. Grace also says 3 weeks is too long. Yeah, it is. The flip side is, though, I almost feel like you can't go to Japan for 1 week and then come back because it's so far away. So that was part of the reason. Billy doesn't get why Slot has put Szoboszlai right back. I don't like Szoboszlai right back. I guess he's put him there out of desperation because Frimpong's out and Conor Bradley's out, but Conor Bradley's always out. So I think it's a desperate. It's kind of his only option. I know there's Calvin Ramsey, but he doesn't seem to like him. So unfortunately, it's one of those things. When the second half start, lads, just woke up. To be honest, you could probably go back to sleep. I don't think you're going to miss anything, to be honest. Jacob says, are you Pep? I am Pep. We cannot attack. Yeah, Liverpool were very, very deep. Very, very deep in the first half. I'm hoping second half will be better. King Sloth is also in Napoli. So King Sloth is in Napoli and SH is in Napoli. Napoli was interesting. Some bits very kind of built up. Some bits more classical, I'd say. But I liked Napoli. It was cool. Dode says, do a vlog of your trip. Could do. Then I'd be the annoying tourist guy. Jeffrey says, how's it? All good. The usual. Constantly raining outside, constantly pissing it down. So stuck inside, watching football. How's things with you? Hope you're good. Predictions for the Brighton Cup match. Unfortunately, I got a bad feeling about that. I don't want to be negative, but I think I get the feeling because top 4, top 5 is not guaranteed for Liverpool. I feel like they are going to deprioritize. They're going to deprioritize the cup. I think we might end up losing that. Jeffrey says this is looking like dirty. Indeed, it is. But I'm hoping second half is better. You guys are so lucky you don't have to listen to Lee Dixon commentate on the match. He's the most unbiased or biased anti-Liverpool commentator you would think. He plays for Man United. Lee Dixon is he's very much like ready salted crisps. Have you ever bought a multi-pack of crisps and there's cheese and onion which are quite good, there's salt and vinegar which is quite good, but there's ready salted which are just plain and pointless, and they're kind of there but they're also not there. That's how I would describe Lee Dixon, if I'm honest with you. SH says, are you going to Hiroshima by any chance? I love history. Would feel weird being there, knowing what happened. I was looking into that. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a mission away from Tokyo. What I'm thinking is Tokyo this year and then maybe Osaka in another year. Osaka is closer to Hiroshima, so I might go at a different time. But going to Tokyo and also Yokohama, which is not too far away, and Mount Fuji should be good. But yeah, looking forward to it. Kieran says you deserve a follow for that, lad. Appreciate that. That's a good suggestion. Billy says rather have Endo at right back. Whenever Endo's played right back, I actually think he looks all right there. He's very aggressive. He plays like he knows his position is not guaranteed. So when you know your position is not guaranteed, you put a lot more effort in. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Endo. How was the first half? To be honest, if you were asleep for that first half, you wouldn't have missed anything. I think I was saying that earlier. Nothing happened. Liverpool very, very deep. Liverpool very, very defensive. City were the better team, but I'm hoping second half will be better. Yeah, as MCFC says, they were the better team by far, and I'd agree with the by far bit as well. To be honest with you. Fish says tomorrow's Endo's birthday. How old is he going to be? Is he 46 or 47 now? Because he's probably pushing it. Oh, you're listening to a Japanese commentator. I am gonna take some Liverpool shirts with me because apparently there's quite a few Liverpool fans around there. So I'll definitely take a few football shirts in my luggage. Endo's a warm blanket, always makes everybody feel safe with him on the pitch. He is a electric blanket. I like Endo. Like we know his limitations. I think everybody's aware of his limitations, but the things that are not limitations, so his strengths are really good. Like he's a good tackler, he's a good destroyer, he's a decent passer. He's not a terrible passer, he's a decent passer. And he plays every game like he's not going to play another game again. So he puts 100% effort in. It's one of the great mysteries about why he doesn't get more games. How long left until second half? They're just standing over the ball now. You heard Hungarian Prince. I have not heard he wants 300 grand a week. I've not heard that. That's way too much, surely. That's way too much. How much is he on now? He must be on about 100. Surely we can get him around 200. They've kicked off. I'll set the timer in a bit. Surely we can get him around 200. Stefan says, what's your current gender? Male, female, or non-binary? I was going to say, does the beard give it away? But no, I'd go for male. SH will be back at the end. Sounds good. Hopefully with positive news. Oh, you are preaching to the choir here, Chicken Wing. You are preaching to the choir. Half my shots don't connect. You are 100. That it's just funny. I don't know if you've heard me say this before, but that is the thing that irritates me the most about that game. You'll have so this is the boxing game, right? And you can throw a hook and the guy can be standing right in front of you and he will deliberately miss. What I've noticed is it's highly dependent. It's highly dependent on who you are facing, I think. For God's sake, give me a second. TikTok's just disconnected because it says you're inactive and I'm like, I'm not inactive. Give me a sec. Just refresh. Someone's getting booked. I'm just reconnecting TikTok, which has gone down because it's a bit annoying. Give me a sec. Okay, that should have fixed it. But yeah, undisputed that game is completely broken. I feel like so typically when you build a game, you have a character and you have a hitbox, which is an invisible box, which is what you can hit. And I just don't think the hitboxes for the characters are in the right spot. And I just find that hilarious that you can build a boxing game, you can do all these things, but the basics of connecting punches doesn't work. So it's not just you. It's not just you. I've experienced the same thing. And if you Google it, lots of people have. Fish says, buy me Topps Premier League trading cards. I could do. But you asked for 76 cards earlier. That might be a bit much. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or Wii. To be honest, they all kind of feel the same. All the Mario Kart games. Graphics are good. Just need stamina to improve. The graphics are good. if you want to kind of maintain the other thing that irritates me about that is sometimes the boxers deliberately miss. Like your head could be here, and if I throw a hook, if I throw an uppercut, it's like the boxer is deliberately trying to miss. But yeah, a good way to preserve stamina is by just kind of countering, I guess, kind of throwing counters rather than throwing too many punches. That can be a good way of saving stamina. Mark Gay gives the ball away. They need to bring out another fight night game. Those games were good back in the day. I've not set the timer. The game's still very stop-start. What's the point of Gakpo, man? Guy can't stay onside. Guy loses the ball. Guy is completely predictable. I just don't get it. Diaz scored against 10-man Hoffenheim. Are they playing right now? Is it Bayern versus Hoffenheim? It's kind of the opposite of the first half. Now City are very deep. Oh, God. I mean, Sabazlai taking a shot from outside the box, but it gets saved. I mean, Liverpool, Gakpo, Ekitike, really should have got that on target. And I think if he gets that on target, he's probably going to score that. I don't know how you missed that, to be honest. Yeah, he had a free shot inside the box and completely missed. But that's fine. So there's only 52 minutes. Yeah, I think that's a fair description, to be honest. Liverpool are utter wank, not just wank, but utter wank. Here's an utter wank cross, and another utter wank cross. They have started the second half a bit better. I don't think 4-2-3-1 has worked this season. Word says the attacking midfielder is isolated. Not sure what plan. Yeah, I've always wondered about that because not his whole reasoning, but part of his reasoning for joining Liverpool was that Slot showed him his plans and he was absolutely amazed by what the manager had planned for him. I've always wondered kind of what that conversation actually entailed. Because it surely had to be... Ooh, good cross there. Good cross there by Wirtz, but saved by Ekitike. But it surely had to involve more than you're just going to play as an attacking midfielder. So I've wondered that as well. So if 4-2-3-1 doesn't work, is there a different system you would maybe play? Maybe 4-3-3? Or would you maybe play 3 at the back? Maybe part of his isolation is down to him having a bit of a free role, but I'd be interested to know if you would maybe change the system. I think that's in Spanish potentially. I'm not 100% sure. Nayab says some MF Arsenal fan says no other English club cannot beat us. Same. I mean, it's the same thing that happens every year, to be honest. I'm pretty sure Liverpool already beat them. Was it not the Szoboszlai free kick 1-0? So if Liverpool have already beaten them, then you know they're chatting rubbish. Oh, don't lose the ball there. It's actually like really like it's got like a really sharp texture, which is kind of nice. I can't lie. Oh, Jesus Christ, he's missed again. He's missed again. I mean, hopefully this should calm down some of the hype that we've been hearing about Ekitike recently. Ekitike went from a player who'd had a very good start to last week people were saying he's better than Torres. And I know a lot of Jamie Carragher's job is just to create headlines. It's not necessarily to say what he actually thinks. But people need to... I think people need to have reasonable expectations of Ekitike. He started really, really well. But there's always a danger where if a player starts well, suddenly our expectations get ridiculous. And then when they can't meet the expectations, we then kind of turn on them. Wirtz gets fouled. Fish says, yo bro, eat bro. I will after this. Actually, no, I need to go for a walk after this. If it's, provided it's not raining. Oh yeah, and the United... Oh, Gakpo! Oh, fucking hell! Oh, this guy's useless as fuck, man. I swear. It's offside. But... I need to see that again. The fact that it was offside probably saved them. But the fact that he managed to smack the ball over the bar again is not a surprise. I think the main reason of his isolation is the double pivot behind him. Just seeing the replay. Very good cross by Kerkez. He was slightly offside. Yeah, I think if he had not been if he'd been onside, people would be a lot more annoyed. Grav and McAllister haven't been progressive enough, which breaks down our build up to give it to Wirtz. I think if you're gonna play Wirtz, you almost need Szoboszlai to do the box to box high energy thing. I just feel if you have a midfield of Wirtz and McAllister, I'm not convinced that works. I feel like Wirtz and McAllister are a bit too similar. If anything, Wirtz is a more extreme version of McAllister from an attacking perspective. So I'm not convinced McAllister and Wirtz work. And to be honest, I think they will probably sell McAllister this season. I think you need a Szoboszlai type player to do You almost need a Szoboszlai type player in the midfield to do the job of two people, so that Wirtz can have the free role. So I'll be interested to see what they do in the summer, whether they change this around. Ekitike not passing to Wirtz is criminal. It is criminal, and again, it goes back to what I was saying at the start. Hopefully people chill out a bit now about Ekitike. People were acting like Ekitike was the second coming last week. Ekitike better than Torres, Ekitike better than Ronaldo, Ekitike better than this, better than that, better than Maradona. Oh, Ruben Diaz is back. Interesting. Ruben Diaz is coming on. Like I'm super impressed with Ekitike, but I just feel like last week, people, pundits, journalists, they were all taking it way too far. Yeah, almost. Fish says McAllister is Sijin Pex. I have to be careful how I say that, so I don't say that the wrong way around. M says bring in Rio for Gakpo and Johnson McAllister. I think those are both good substitutions. At the very least, they will inject a bit of energy onto the pitch. I don't know if you noticed with Rio, but whenever Rio comes on the pitch, the opposition defenders, they always look terrified because he's unpredictable. He's pacey. You don't know what he's going to do. And I think Jones does bring a lot more energy than McAllister. So yeah, I like those two subs. I'd probably give it another 5. I'd probably give it another 5-10 minutes, but generally speaking, those are subs that I would make. Neab says, some MF said Prime Torres better than 2008 Ronaldo. WTF? What do you think as a Liverpool fan? This is bullshit. Yeah, I'd agree with you. That's just silly. That's just nonsense. Torres was good, but Ronaldo was another level. Ronaldo was levels above. I'd say Suarez was better than Torres for Liverpool, and I'd still put Ronaldo above Suarez. So people are just saying silly things. Haaland is through, but nothing happens. How will Mamardashvili challenge Alisson for the number 1 spot? To be honest, probably won't, unless Alisson seriously regresses or gets some sort of serious injury. I don't think he's really challenging Alisson for that spot. He could be the heir. He could be the heir to Alisson's spot, but it depends. It depends. It kind of depends how long it takes for Alisson to slow down. But Alisson hasn't really showed any signs of slowing down. Stefan says, I'm still dealing with the shock of 3 weeks with no stream. What if we do a stream without you and a virtual AI version of me? That could work. I'll have to look into this virtual AI version. It might it'll save me from having to trim my beard because I always have to do that before a stream. So it might save me a bit of time. But then the AI version might say crazy things. Oh no, Semenyo's through, but Van Dijk should deal with that. I think he's offside anyway. Why every Arsenal fan in delusion? That's a very good question. It's something I have not quite found the answer to yet, but maybe we'll find that out one day. Moscal says, is this game still 0-0? It is still 0-0. And oh shit, it was almost 1-0. It was almost 1-0, but no, it's still 0-0. I'd say Man City were a lot better in the first half. Liverpool have come into the game in the second half. I'd say the second half is a bit more even, but Liverpool had some good opportunities. But yeah, still 0-0 unfortunately. But I don't think this is gonna finish 0-0. I definitely think Liverpool. I think Liverpool will probably end up winning this 1-0. Liverpool are actually holding on pretty good, and tomorrow I don't have school. It could. Ooh, Wirtz. Oh, I thought that was in. But it was blocked. I think it was blocked by Mark Gay. It was very similar position. Very similar position to the goal that Wirtz scored against Newcastle, but Mark Gay got the tackle in. So Wirtz took a shot, but Mark Gay kind of slid on the shot and cleared the shot, if that makes sense. But that was going in. Liverpool need to keep ball position longer. They do, and I think they have improved in the second half in that aspect. Corner, but cleared. Why every time I say something, there's a chance for an opener? We just need you to say more things. Because I think you're right. Whenever you say something, the ball almost goes in. So maybe you are the key to Liverpool scoring. Grace has been playing darts. Oh yeah, how's the darts going? Are you getting better at the darts? Are you improving, or are you still practicing? If that makes sense. Corner for Liverpool. I don't predict anything will happen. Not with a shit corner like that. So the Rafa Benitez formation. Gerrard behind Torres, Wirtz behind Ekitike. What would you do when Isak comes back? Or am I adding too much complication? However, we don't have a Mascherano. I think the closest we have is Endo, but it's clear the manager don't like him. Or even Alonso. Maybe Sabo could link defense and attack, and maybe we still miss a Mascherano type. Unfortunately, Slot doesn't feel like a manager who likes a typical... doesn't feel like a manager who likes a typical destroyer. Klopp liked his destroyer. So Klopp would have Fabinho, Klopp would have Henderson, Klopp would have Endo. So Klopp felt like a manager who would have a stereotypical destroyer in midfield. But Slot is a bit more bougie. He's a bit more exotic. He's like, I don't need a destroyer. I just need somebody who's good on the ball. What you could maybe do is, I definitely think you need Szoboszlai in the midfield, because I think with McAllister and Wirtz, they're just too similar. Whereas Szoboszlai, you can say it's very different. So he adds a different quality and a different dynamic. I like Wirtz, but why does Wirtz never lace the ball? Substance over style. Yeah, he prefers to place his shots. To be honest, I like the placed shot he did against Newcastle. Gakpo, but nothing's gonna happen. Gravenberch. But yeah, it would be nice for him to just lace it or use a bit of power. It would be a fair point to say if Wirtz used a bit of power there, Mark Gay would not have been able to intercept. But yeah, hopefully he smacks the next one a bit harder. But if anyone's gonna score, it's Liverpool. To be fair, this second half, especially last 10 minutes, have just been constant Liverpool attacks. Salah, ooh, is that a penalty? Need to see. Salah did look like he might have went down a bit easy, but need to see the replay for that. I can't lie, that one looked like it could have been a penalty. Referee's got a yellow card out. Who's the yellow card for? Is Salah booked for diving? To be honest, it's hard to know. It's hard to know for certain, but that may be I'd say 50-50. I'd say that one's 50-50. Mark Gay does pull his shirt, and you have seen those given, but equally, he did kind of theatrically kind of fall over. I don't know. That one's more 50-50 if I'm honest. Mark Gay's been booked. So what was Salah complaining about then? Free kick, edge of the box. Did he want a penalty? That was clearly not a penalty. So free kick, kinda on the right hand side, but just outside the box. This might be another one of those where Sabazlai kind of backheels it to Salah, and then Salah goes for a corner. But we shall have to wait and see. Yeah, Liverpool free kick right on the edge of the box, and it's on the right side. So I think Sabazlai might set it up for Salah to take a shot left corner. But no, it's just Salah standing over it. I hope he doesn't cross it because it's right, pretty much right on the line. So I hope he goes for a shot. He does go for a shot, and it's the shittest fucking shot I've ever seen. Like, that's terrible. I could have done better than that. Like, somehow hit it 5 meters above the bar. That is terrible free kick. Why didn't Gay get a red card for that though? There'd be an argument for that. There'd be an argument for that because it did look like Salah was the last man. You're still practicing. Fair enough. Darts is a lot more difficult than it seems. Grace looks like Topps Premier League trading cards. Is that of any particular player? Is there any particular player that Grace looks like from Topps Premier League trading cards, or do you mean just in general? Liverpool have had 70% possession in second half. So as we predicted, second half a lot better. But it kind of doesn't matter unless they score. "70 minutes now. Maybe they want to look at bringing Rio on. Maybe they want to look at bringing Curtis Jones on. I don't know what other options are available on the bench. Gakpo? Ooh, good cross by Salah. Why is McAllister constantly on the end of crosses? It's like, can you not get a taller player to get on the edge of your end of your crosses? Surely. Bernardo's complaining about something. Potentially the rotation of the Earth. Potentially something else. Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how McAllister is supposed to win a header against Donnarumma. It's another free kick. Okay, so this one's in a good position. It's a Bosley free kick. I'd say it is in exactly the same position as the free kick he scored against Arsenal. It's central. It's about 25 yards out-ish. So Bosley standing over this. He needs to smack this top corner. I'd say it's a exact carbon copy of where the ball was against Arsenal. And Sabazlai standing over the ball by himself. Oh, he scored! I told you it's an exact carbon copy. It's an exact carbon copy of the Arsenal goal, of the Arsenal position. I should be a clairvoyant. I should guess the lottery numbers next week. That is insane. That is insane. So Sabazlai, very good at free kicks when they're very central. The curl he got on that was amazing, to be fair. The ball was kind of going straight and then curled outwards. that was my reaction too, as Isabel saying. The funny thing about that is, I was literally saying that's in the exact same position as the free kick that he scored against Arsenal. So I'm kind of not even slightly surprised that he scored that. Noah says, "What a goal!" It just reminds me so much of the Arsenal goal. Very similar position. So Bosley is the best number 8 in the Premier League. He's certainly making a good argument for that. Isabel says you can't stop free kicks like that. You can't. You literally can't, because it was going straight. It was going straight. But then at the last second, it took a sharp angle to the right. So to Donnarumma's left. It was a really weird free kick, but in a good way. Because it was just going so straight for so long, and then at the very last second just went left. Grace says, "I bet you were wondering where I was, where I had gone." Did you see Sabazlai's goal? Pep's reaction. I was gonna say which Pep, because they've got 2 of them, but that is a crazy free kick. That is a crazy free kick. I'd say that is that was probably better than the Arsenal free kick. That's one of the best free kicks I've seen in a long time. Stefan says, "Prove you are a clairvoyant." What am I thinking right now? You're thinking, how can I get Umar to cancel his Japan flight? Possibly. You'll have to see the goal when you get back. It was an amazing free kick. One of the best free kicks I've seen in a while, because the ball was going so straight. The ball was just going straight. And then at the last second, it just took a sharp angle towards the right. Verts, he needs to do a better cross than that. Free kick had a harder technique than the Arsenal one, 100%. This was that was legitimately one of the best free kicks I've seen in a while. Just the way it goes straight for so long and then goes wide at the very end. Seiko says, "Let's go." Did you see the free kick? It was amazing. So you can definitely say Liverpool have not missed Mr. Alexander Arnold when it comes to free kicks. So Barzilai's got more variety in his free kicks, I'd say. How's it going, Reluctant Gamer? Hope you are good. Did you see Sabazlai's free kick? It was amazing. It was in. It was in pretty much exactly the same, exactly-ish the same position as the Arsenal free kick. But this one was even better. They just keep replaying it over and over again. That was a screamer, says Billy. That's legitimately, that might be one of my favorite free kicks. One of my favorite free kicks that I've seen in a while. They're just showing Peter Schmeichel in the crowd. Liverpool in the second half have totally controlled the game. It's the complete opposite of the first half. First half was all City, but we were saying, it feels like Liverpool are just trying to absorb pressure and then they'll come out swinging in the second half. And to be honest, that is what has happened. Liverpool have completely dominated the second half. Do you still think City will win the league? Starting to doubt that. Starting to doubt that now, to be honest. But it's not impossible. But I just find it hard for Arsenal to win anything. At this rate, Man United might end up winning the league, which would be hilarious. Stefan says, you are psychic. Indeed, I am. Incredible free kick. Fantastic player. I think he's really coming into his own this season in particular. I think this is his third season. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure this is his third season, and yeah, he's You could definitely make the argument that he's the most important player in the team. Billy says, that was well better than the Arsenal one. The movement on the ball was mad. I agree with you 100%. The way it was just, the free kick was just going so straight. And then at the very last second, just went off at an angle. Pretty crazy. Lee Dixon, I can see it. You can't. It's behind it. Yeah, that's a fair description, because Donnarumma was just stood still because the ball was coming straight. So you think it's coming straight at you, and he was probably hoping to catch it, but was not expecting it to just divert into the corner like that. So Bosley is, I think team player is a good description, because he's playing right back today. Wherever Liverpool have injuries, he kind of slots in there. If Alisson is injured, I'm sure he'd go in goal. If the kitchen staff are injured, I'm sure he'd cook a bit of pasta, do whatever he can. So he kind of slots in wherever. Grace says, bro, this dog is in love with me. Which dog is this? Is this your dog or is this somebody else's dog? Craig is loving it as an Arsenal fan. How many points ahead are you now? It must be like 9, 7, something like that. Him and Ekitike are the best, and Verts is growing. I agree. The one thing I'd say is that I do really like Ekitike, but I just felt like there was a lot of hyperbole and a lot of people jumping the gun last week. So last week people were saying, "Oh, he's the best striker in the league. He's better than Torres. He's the second coming," and I'm like, he's good. But I did feel like people were perhaps overreacting a bit. But I'm happy to have him. Fish, I won't ask what that means. I mean, if I read it out, I might get banned. You can see an Ekitike goal, says Billy. That would be the icing on the cake. Which reminds me, I've not had cake in a while, so I might grab one of those. Reluctant Gamer, just noticed the stuff you got on the shelf. The Godzilla and the Beerus and the Cell. Is that Godzilla? Where's the Godzilla? There's Beerus at the end, and then there's Cell. Oh no, that's a screen. The Godzilla thing is a screen, so I can change what appears on the screen. But yeah, I'm surprised you noticed the Beerus and the Sal. Because I've thought about, should I put another light there? I don't know if people can see it. Nah. Oh, fucking hell. Bernardo's just scored. But more importantly, when it comes to Beerus and Sal, I was considering putting another light there. But if you can see it, then I don't need to. Nathan says Arsenal won the league officially. We might need to hold our horses because Bernardo has somehow... What can you say? City kind of don't deserve that goal, but I almost can't really blame anybody for that because it's just kind of intelligent play. It's an intelligent run by Bernardo, which pains me to say that because I don't like the guy. But sometimes you just gotta say, you know what? Life sucks, but I was gonna say to make matters worse, Curtis Jones is coming on, but I think Jones will make a difference. Owen says no. Yep, 1-1. City need to win, and I'm a Spurs fan. Daddy says, oh my days. Yeah, I agree with Isabel. City don't deserve that goal, but it is what it is. It is what it is. VJ is loving life. But let's see. 5 minutes left. Yeah, I got that from China. You can put different things on the screen. You can put like a clock on there. It's pretty good. Friend's dog is a chihuahua. It's humping my arm and licking my face and everything. Well, the chihuahua seems to be having a good weekend. Should we put it that way? I love Dragon Ball Z. Just got the complete collection on Blu-ray. If you've not seen Dragon Ball Super, fun awaits. Fun awaits. There's quite a few movies for Dragon Ball Super as well, but if you just watch the series, then yeah, you'll be good. Yeah, I'd say watch the series first and then watch the movies afterwards. Zaim says, our team, especially the type of players we have, can't sit in a low block. Why do we keep doing that? I mean, because we get scared, because we're cowards. We get a 1-0 goal, and then we decide to stop doing what got us there. We decide to just defend. And we've seen this game after game. Was it the Bournemouth? Oh, fucking hell, Canate. Was it the Bournemouth game? Liverpool decided to defend deep, conceded. Was it the Leeds game? Liverpool decided to defend deep, conceded. It's the same story every year. Liverpool are generally so bad, says Danny. City are playing awful. City have been terrible the first half. Second half, sorry. When Liverpool got that goal, I thought, okay, you know what? Liverpool have won this, but Liverpool, especially this season, do kind of play a bit cowardly in the sense that when they go ahead, they don't then go for the jugular to get a second goal, third goal. If they go ahead, they'll then sit back. But as Zayn was saying earlier, this team is not good at sitting back. If this team sits back, it just invites pressure, and then that pressure turns into a goal. Which is what has happened here, and is what has happened in multiple games. What are the main Dragon Ball Super movies? There's Battle of the Gods, which is the Beerus movie. There's the Frieza movie, which is Resurrection F. I saw that in the cinema on my birthday a few years ago. So there's Battle of the Gods, Resurrection F, which is the one where Frieza comes back. There's the Broly movie, and there's Superhero. So I think there's those four. But yeah, if you're gonna watch the series, you can watch the movies afterwards. First half, dull as shite, says Stefan. Why do teams wait till 70 minutes to start trying? It's almost as if then they seem to realise that this is a football match and they actually need to score. I'd say again, it probably comes from a lot of teams being risk averse and quite kind of cowardly. They just want to sit back and maybe nick a goal. Maybe kind of nick a goal at the end. So I'd say it comes from being quite risk averse. Fish says yummy ramen. Ramen's good. Isabel said you can watch the movies in between. Yeah, to be fair, watching them in between would make more sense. So you can watch Battle of Gods before the series. The Freezer movie maybe after the second arc. I can't remember. The Freezer movie would have to be before the tournament. The Universe 6 versus Universe 7. You'd have to watch the Freezer movie before that. Whereas the Broly movie and the superhero movie, I think you can watch those at the very end. In terms of whatever the latest is, in terms of where it's got up to, the latest would probably be the superhero movie. So you can definitely watch the superhero movie at the end. Yeah, the Broly movie was really good, to be fair. The animation on that was amazing. That's probably the best movie, to be honest. Like One Piece, they're part of the story. They come from filler. Yeah, it's a bit. Unfortunately, it's a bit complicated. But what makes it more complicated is there's a movie for Beerus called Battle of the Gods, but they also do Battle of Gods in the series as well. So in a way, the Beerus story is there twice, which just makes things all the more confusing. Allison's complaining about something. This better not be a penalty. Oh, don't fucking lie. Are you serious? There's nothing in that. Is that a pen? Are Liverpool doing their best to ensure Arsenal do not win the league? Do you think that was a penalty? I've got it muted, so... And the trouble is, if I put the volume on, then... Okay. We're good. Nathan said they're going to miss it. Is Haaland taking it? I know you're trying to boost my spirits, but I do get a bit worried seeing Haaland with the ball. To be fair, it wasn't too long ago that Haaland missed the penalty. Oh, fair enough. Reverse psychology. Last 5 penalties. Missed 2, apparently. It's not a given. Otto says, damn unk, looking fresh. Tried my best. Who's got a pen, says JR Fragrance, is sitter. And it's Haaland standing over the ball. which is not what you want to see. But, life goes on. Okay. Haaland's taking his run up. Oh, he scored, but it was a nice penalty. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ, man. Was it 85 minutes where Liverpool were up? A wise man once said, I love this game. I think Liverpool are trying their absolute best to ensure that Arsenal don't win the league. That's the only way I can explain it. You had one job. I actually backed Liverpool once. That's why we've lost. I'm putting the blame squarely at your feet. Nathan's happy. Mr. Defoe is happy and also unhappy at the same time. Good penalty, to be fair. Right in the corner. I can't believe I wanted City to win. My hatred for Arsenal really changed me. Yeah, maybe Liverpool also don't want Arsenal to win the league. So what would that make the table then? Would that make Arsenal 4 points ahead? Something like that? Grace is not happy. Game's finished now. Like Liverpool are gonna try to muster something, but it's too late now. It's too late. They were 1-0 up. And I think they were doing good when they were 1-0 up. But unfortunately, they went 1-0 up and then decided to kind of sit back. Six points, yeah. To be honest, league is probably still open then. Dan says Liverpool have been sloppy. They have been sloppy, and they've also been cowardly. I've kind of felt like when they've gone ahead, which granted has not happened often, but when they've gone ahead, they then become quite defensive. They've not, say, gone for the second goal, gone for the third goal, gone for the fourth goal. It's like, okay, we can sit back now and protect the lead. It's like, no, that doesn't work in this team. Isabel says, to be honest, my hatred for Arsenal, I don't mind this result. Man City don't deserve it. But like, yeah, well, yeah. I guess that's the silver lining. M. Fraser says, how's the quadruple going? To be honest, Liverpool haven't even had 4 chances, so forget about 4 trophies. Did you see Casemiro do a 6-7 celebration against Fulham? I did not. But I almost feel like I have to Google it now. Isn't he a bit old for that? Isn't he like 50 at this point? Yeah, Chiesa's on now. Man City defending very deep now, but what do you expect? We got robbed. I do think losing this game is unfair. City might get a third here, but saved by Alisson. Like a draw I could have kind of rationalized as a fair result, but I don't think City deserve to win this. Abdullah says City don't deserve anything, man. Honestly, jammy goal and a pen. Man City didn't do anything at all, especially in the second half. I felt like second half was all Liverpool. Chiesa deserves more game time. He does. I mean, especially when the alternative is Gakpo, or as you call him, Gakpost. Gakpost does nothing, offers nothing. I'd pay Chiesa over Gakpo, 100%. Rectant Gamer says, okay, so now I think City are going to win the league. I can't believe City just get 2 goals like nothing. That's the thing with City. They know how to win trophies, and they're mentally quite strong to kind of mentally stay in the game, even when things are not going their way. Aiden says Salah needs to leave. He will leave at the end of the season. Alex says, guess who's playing Europa next year? Not Liverpool. To be honest, at this rate, they'd probably struggle to get Europa. Jalil says, robbed, but looking like Arsenal will be looking over. Liverpool are frantically trying to get a goal, but it's like, guys, well, why do you have the fear of God in you now? You've had an entire game to do this. Don't suddenly show urgency now. Too late. Take care, Grace. Hope you have a good day also. Ooh! Good save by Donnarumma. Abdullah says, feel like stabbing the heart after this performance. Yes, I think a draw I could have rationalised. And as Leon says as well, we played all right in the second half. I'd say City were the better team in the first half, and Liverpool were the better team in the second half. So I think a draw would have been fair. Kenny says we played all right in the second half, but the first half really reflected Slot's slow and awful tactics. It did. And I think what also reflected the slow and awful tactics is after Liverpool go ahead. I often feel like after Liverpool go ahead, then Slot becomes very risk averse. Like, he won't go for a second goal, go for a third goal. It's like, okay, we've got a goal now. We can sit back. We can sit back and have some tea and concede. Slot, Salah, and a few other names to go. I'd be interested in who the other names are. But I agree. But they got Alisson's playing good midfield now. What the F are you even doing? Okay, that's kind of funny. I can't lie. That is kind of funny. So City have scored a third from the halfway line. Because there was no goalkeeper. Because there was no goalkeeper. When was the last time City beat us at Anfield? I think a few years ago. There was that time where Foden had the whole thing with James Milner, and Foden gave Milner a terrible time. There's no pressure coming from Slot at all. Liverpool are a pressing team. I agree with Kenny. It's just not Liverpool's identity to be a sitting back, bougie type of possession-based team. It's I'll update the score in a bit. Liverpool are a team who favour aggressive play, who favour entertaining play. This kind of wannabe possession-based nonsense is just not for me. Headless, oh my god! Like, why was Szoboszlai trying to pull Haaland? Like, it's like, bro, just let the goal. You don't want to risk a sending off, right? Surely, like, what's that about? Crazy ending indeed. 3-1. Slot ball king kills me. I agree. It's so boring. It's so boring to watch, and you can kind of forgive the boringness if you're actually winning games. But if it's boring to watch and you're also not winning games, what's the point of this? I just do not see the point of this. Out of all the players too, can start playing his boyfriend Gakpo. I mean, you might have. What's going on here? Why is the referee checking VAR? To be honest, there probably is some sort of romantic thing going on between those two. Yes. Let me update it. But what's To be honest, if Szoboszlai gets sent off there, that's his own fault. Because why are you holding Haaland back? It's 2-1 anyway. So if he gets the 3-1, who cares? The downside is you get sent off. What value is there in holding Haaland back? There's no difference between a 2-1 or a 3-1, but you're risking getting sent off. Are you Slot out? It depends who they can bring in to replace him. I wouldn't want to get rid of Slot and then just hire an interim, because I feel like that simply it's because it's like it's really nice and cold, and I don't know how to explain that. But it's actually really Szoboszlai only been booked. But yeah, it's really nice and cold because it's metal. I'd say generally speaking, yes, but I wouldn't want to get him out and then just get an interim in, because I feel like by doing that you are not solving the problem. If you can get Alonso as an example, then I'd say yes. Gakpo needs to be ejected from this club with his husband Slot. I mean, you're right. I mean, I can't even push back. I mean, you're 100% correct about the ejection, number one, and about the potential romantic relationship. I mean, Szoboszlai's been sent off, but that was silly. That's your own fault, bro. That's your own fault. Yeah, for Xabi, yes. But some people have said, as an example, Gerrard interim. No, I don't want no interims. I don't want Gerrard's auntie as the interim. It's like, no. If you can get Alonso as a full-time manager, then do it. Cherry says slot out. Duke says, "Hey bro, just in from work. Man, can't believe this again. It's the same old story. To be honest with you, it's the same old story." Right. So they've taken the goal off. This is the weirdest thing ever. They've taken the goal off, but they've sent Szoboszlai off. So it's not 3-1. It's back to 2-1 now. This whole result is Liverpool's fault. In the second half, they were the better team. But as always, whenever they go ahead, they decide to then sit back, be a bit more pragmatic, be a bit more risk averse. And whenever this team decides to sit back, they always concede because they're not organized. They're aggressive. They're tricky. And being aggressive and tricky, that plays in to being attacking. But being idiots who are unorganized, that doesn't suit sitting back. So I don't know why they sit back. Oh, is it 3? Full time. That road name is hilarious. It's called Ria Access. That's the game. That's the road that Slot uses on a weekly basis. 15 minutes of added time at this rate. It was kind of funny. The thing said 7 and 1:05 and it was still going, but it's full time now. Duke says, my mate said, I haven't watched the game. Basically, we've beaten ourselves. To give you a general overview, first half was all Man City. Second half was pretty much all Liverpool, and then Liverpool went ahead. But then when Liverpool made it 1-0, they then became more defensive. And when you become more defensive, you invite pressure and you concede 2 goals. Sahal says red card. Yeah, I mean it's silly. It's silly. For anyone that hasn't seen this, so Alisson was not in goal. Alisson was sunbathing on the halfway line. Haaland was running through on an empty goal, and Szoboszlai and Haaland, they're both running, and then Szoboszlai pulls Haaland to prevent him from scoring. But what is the benefit in that? Liverpool are already 2-1 down. You'd rather just go 3-1 down and not risk a red card. Because a loss is a loss. A loss is a loss either way. Now we don't have Szoboszlai for multiple games. I don't understand why would you risk a sending off in that situation unless I'm missing something. Fish says F the referee. To be honest, I can't even blame the referee for that. It's I'll stop this timer so it doesn't confuse people. I can't even blame the referee for that. It's just silliness from Szoboszlai. I'm so confused. Oh, give me a second. I'm so confused. What just happened? We were 1-0 up. It's the common pattern though. It's the common pattern that happens every single time. Liverpool go up. And then when Liverpool go 1-0 up, then they change what they're doing. Then they decide to sit back. Which, generally speaking, I understand. But this is not a team that can sit back. Because this team is mentally dumb. They're physically good. Physically they're good. But mentally they're dumb. So they can't sit back and be organised. They just can't. Kevin says, best team won. Liverpool was rubbish. I thought City were better in the first half. Liverpool were better in the second half. I think a draw would have been fair, to be honest with you. Grace has switched over. How did you drop that lead? I mean, it's the same thing that happens every single game. Liverpool go ahead. And then they become risk averse, then they decide to sit back, and then they concede. How many games will that be now? Probably too many. Somebody earlier was saying 3. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Literally as Taylor is saying, And it's not just this game where this has happened. Liverpool go ahead. And then this manager, he's very risk averse. He's scared of going for the second goal, scared of going for the third goal. So when Liverpool go ahead, then they sit back. And it's like, do not sit back. Because to sit back, you need to be organised. But you lot are not organised. So whenever you sit back, you just invite pressure and then you concede. Yeah, that's summed it up. Duke says, will it be a 3-game ban? Somebody was saying that earlier. I hope not. I really hope not. It's silly to get sent off. I don't understand why you'd get sent off in that reason. If it's a draw, if it's 1-1, I understand you getting sent off. But you're already 2-1 down. Why get sent off? Because there's no difference between 2-1 and 3-1. What's the point? As Kenny says, the ending is very petty. We just lost our best player for a game, maybe even 2, maybe even 3. Maybe even 3, to be honest. Hamza says Liverpool will be playing Europa League football next season. At this rate, I don't even see that happening, to be honest with you. That was a red card. Yeah, like Liverpool can't really blame the referee for that. That's just silliness from Szoboszlai. Yeah, I agree with Freddie. Szoboszlai should have just let the goal happen because there's really no difference between 2-1 and 3-1. It's a loss. Who cares? I don't see why you would risk a sending off to prevent a 3-1 when it's already 2-1. You might as well just let the 3-1 go in and be available for the next game. This is entirely pointless. Yeah, we can't dispute the red. It's just silliness from the player, to be honest. Kenny says Slot and Salah are definites for getting out. I'd also argue Van Dijk. I'd keep Van Dijk. Kind of mainly for the reason is there's lots of changes to the defense. So Frimpong's a new right back. Kerkez is a new left back. Leone's new. Jeremy Jacquet is going to be new. Kanate might leave. So Van Dijk's probably the only one I'd keep. But I think Salah will be off. And I think Slot will probably be off. Yeah, same old. Go ahead, get a goal, and then sit back, invite pressure, and then concede. Just the same thing. Yeah, that's a fair point. You've seen sending offs for what Mark Gueye did. You have seen that be a red card in other games. End of the day, we were shocking again. In the first half, yeah, I thought Liverpool were terrible. Second half better, but I almost feel like things won't change unless you change the manager, because he will always go ahead and then decide to sit back. And he thinks the team, I don't know if it's pretentiousness to a certain degree, but he thinks the team are a lot more organised than they are. So he thinks, you know what, I'm going to sit back and have this defensive masterclass. That's not you. Top Gun says karma, but I just want to say that's the worst spelling of Szoboszlai I've ever seen. Like I've seen some bad spellings, but Sezbola is almost as bad as Liverpool's performance today. Yeah, Gakpo has to go. Because the problem with Gakpo is you just know that guy's going to cut inside onto his right foot, smack it over the bar. It's just the same thing, isn't it? Game after game after game. He gets the ball on the left. He pauses for a second, but I bet you he's going to cut inside and whack it over the bar. And if we know that, then the professionals definitely know that. I definitely get rid of Gakpo. I think Salah's going to go. Maybe, I don't want to say get rid, but I'd be open to selling McAllister because I'm not convinced a midfield with McAllister and Wirtz works. I just feel like they're a bit too similar. You met Kim Kardashian. Where? I'm curious. How much did that Sal and Beerus figure cost? The Sal was about 20 quid. The Beerus was about 40 quid. The Beerus one is massive though. Yeah, Gakpo's waste of space at this point and borderline waste of oxygen. Olaf says, bro, what do you think about the game? I thought it was a robbery. To be honest with you, I'd hesitate at calling it a robbery. I thought first half was all Man City, legitimately. First half was all Man City. Second half was all Liverpool until they scored. After they scored, they then decided to sit back. And whenever you sit back, you risk conceding a goal because you invite pressure. If this game was a draw, I would have said probably a fair result. But it is what it is. It is what it is, I guess. Yeah, I agree with George. Agree with Jaime. Diaz was, yeah. The thing is, last year you had Diaz and Gakpo, so there was a degree of unpredictability on the left because other teams didn't know. Are you going to play Diaz, who's more of a traditional winger who stays out wide and uses his trickery? Or are you going to play Gakpo, who's more of an inside forward who tries to take a shot? So there was, by having Diaz and Gakpo, you had a degree of unpredictability. By selling Diaz and not replacing him, now I was in favour of selling Diaz, but in selling Diaz and not playing and not replacing him, you don't have unpredictability on the left side anymore. You just know it's going to be Cody Gakpo because Liverpool are not going to play a 16-year-old child there. You just know it's going to be Cody Gakpo every single time. And therefore, oppositions know Gakpo is going to get the ball, cut inside, whack it over the bar. And all predictability has left the team. Dode says, at least City's still in the title race now. Yeah, I was saying, I think Slot must really hate Arsenal because he doesn't want them to win the league, but I'd be giving Slot maybe a bit too much credit there. Liverpool, Sunderland, 8:15 Wednesday. I will be here. Don't have much confidence, but I'll be here. Sean says, just get Slot gone, honestly, please. I agree with you. I'd want to get... The thing is, though, I'd presume they're going to want to get Alonso in as a replacement. And I'm almost at the point where if Alonso feels like he needs a mental break so that he comes back firing on all cylinders, then we might just have to bear it. If that makes sense. I've probably explained that terribly. But I do agree Slot out, but there needs to be a replacement, point one. And we need to find out when that replacement would be comfortable coming in. Yeah, earlier subs would never hurt. Yeah, as it was a bit careless for Alisson, to be honest. Are you Slot out? Generally speaking, yes, but I would not be Slot out just to get Gerrard as an interim because I feel like when you do that, you're not solving the problem. You're just moving the problem to a later date in the future. So I would say Slot out, yes, provided there is a capable replacement who's ready and willing to come in. I wouldn't want him to sack him and then panicking and then trying to figure out a solution. The Sabazlai free kick is saving me from a depression. It feels like a distant memory now. It was an amazing free kick, but it almost becomes a bit of a moot point given what happened after that. I'm happy Mr. Default is happy. If Mr. Default is happy, then I'm vaguely happy. Egg fried rice says Amarim is available. I would rather have a plate of egg fried rice over Amarim. Luis Enrique in, he's an option. Call the season off. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like it was an amazing free kick. It was an amazing free kick at the time. Um, but when you see what happens afterwards, it just certainly kind of sours it. Amorim or Ten Hag, damn. If you force me to make a decision, I mean, it's like choosing between two kind of terminal diseases. Do you want to get shot in the head or do you want to get thrown off a cliff? I'd probably say, as silly as it is to say this, my first thought was Amorim. Sorry, my first thought was Ten Hag, but then thinking about it, probably Amorim. I just think the situation might fit him a bit better at Liverpool, but I don't want him. But if you put a gun to my head, that's what I'd say. Yeah, don't want Gerrard, 100%. Yeah, so Bosley has been the standout player this year, and unfortunately, he's injured. Not injured, he's suspended now. Chulu says there were Liverpool players who claimed they wouldn't throw this match. They said they wouldn't lose. Now look out! Now look out of the Prem title and top four race. I don't think they threw the match. I just think they were quite arrogant and a bit deluded. They scored a goal, and instead of going for a second goal, they decided to sit back. But trying to sit back against Man City, who are famously good against low blocks, because everybody sits back against Man City. It's just sackable offence, as Jamie says. Yeah, that's a good point. They're not terminal diseases. We're not going to play Champions League next year. The question is, are we playing Premier League next year? Thankfully, yes. Thankfully, yes. But to make matters worse, they're showing Luis Diaz's performance now. just want to feel even worse about yourselves. But it's the same. It's the same story. It's the same story with this team over and over, isn't it? Stuart says City's third goal should have stood, and Dominic still sees red. I'm just annoyed that he hacked the player down, because for me, there's no difference between a 2-1 or a 3-1. You might as well just allow the 3-1 and stay available within the team. I don't see why there was a need to risk a red card there. Chulu said your club's higher-ups could make a cheeky bid for Carrick. The Glazers and Ineos are greedy enough to let him go. I mean, we could make a cheeky bid for Carrick and probably play him in midfield. They'd probably do a better job than some of these guys we have in midfield. B Swift, possibly related to Taylor Swift, says, is the Bosley suspended for 1 or 3 games? I'm not sure, and to be honest, I kind of don't want to know, because I'm a bit worried the answer is 3. T says, what do you think we should do about Slot? I mean, generally speaking, I do want him out. But I'd want him out on the condition that there is a permanent manager to come in as a replacement. So if Alonso was ready to come in, let's do it. If Enrique was wanting to come in, let's do it. If Gerrard's auntie wants to come in as an interim, no. But if there's a long-term solution and the window is open, then yeah, I hope they make use of that. Yeah, as usual, we lose to dumb. We do lose to dumb reasons, but it's our fault entirely, to be honest with you. If we sack Slot, who'd be the best in your opinion? I'd like Alonso. I still think he's a very good manager. I know he had a tough time at Madrid, but to be honest, that's a bit of a toxic club at the moment. I think Alonso would do good in the Premier League. I think the fans would take to him quite well. And he'd also get the best out of Frimpong and Wirtz, who coached at Leverkusen. So he's familiar with some of the players as well. So I'd be looking at Alonso. But what I presume has happened is Alonso has said, look, I want a break. I want a break of a few months. And to be honest, I understand. Because from a manager's perspective, you probably wouldn't want to come into this mess because you'd almost be tarnished with that, like a brush. You'd be tarnished with the mess. So if Liverpool finished 8th, it would be like Alonso got Liverpool to 8th. Alonso sucks. So I understand from a new manager's perspective. They're going to want to come in fresh. They're going to want to come in with a pre-season. They're going to want to come in with a transfer window. So unfortunately, I think Liverpool are probably going to be stuck with the current manager until summer. Oscar says was never a pen. Jackson would rather Enrique. Fair enough. I think they're both good choices. Areola is a decent option as well. So this is Andoni Iraola. He's a decent option. Liverpool would be a big step up, but you've got to take that. You got to take that step up at some point. But he'd be a decent option. Slot is kind of bold. He looked very bold today. I think he is freshly shaved that head. Yeah, hope and pray style is accurate. Cheer up, Liverpool. It could be worse. Just look at Spursy, who's getting the chop and the delusion of the mighty Gooners. I'm mentally holding on to the fact that, even though I know this is not the reason, but I'm mentally holding on to the fact that they just don't want Arsenal to win the league. so therefore they conceded. Of course, that's not actually the reason, but I just pretend that is the reason. Makes me feel better. I think Slot is uncoaching the players. I think the players don't have any faith in him, to be honest with you. The players are playing like they know he's likely not going to be around next year. And I think once you've lost the dressing room, once you've lost the players, it's very hard to get that back, number one. And I think, number two, that's probably a indicator that they should make a change. But again, I wouldn't make a rash change. I wouldn't bring in an interim because I just don't like interims. I mean, I respect the commitment though. I do respect the commitment. I think even though I kind of disagree, I do respect the level of support. Not just with the message, but also the profile picture and the username. It's like, you know what? Fair enough. There's not enough loyal people these days, but there are some loyal people. Ref should have just given the goal. Is this the as in the one at the end? He should have, but equally, I can't be too annoyed. I felt like that was a bit silly of Szoboszlai to do that. The ref should have just given the goal, and I think Szoboszlai should have just let it go, because there's no difference between 2-1 and 3-1. You might as well just let it be 3-1 and not risk us ending off. I'm confused at kind of why you did that, to be honest. Maresca is still a decent shout for the Liverpool job, and I don't see the Kop faithful not backing him. I thought Maresca's a funny one, to be honest. I kind of forgot about him. But I thought he did pretty good at Chelsea, to be fair. He wouldn't be my first choice, but he wouldn't be the worst. He wouldn't be the worst option by any means. Yeah, I've noticed that as well. You can tell there's a lack of respect for Slot. Virgil Salah, don't rate him. I'm exhausted. I get that feeling as well. I get that vibe as well. I don't know why I get that vibe, and I don't know what I'm basing that on. But it's interesting that you've come to the same conclusion that I have. Yeah, at least Arne Slot is supporting Arne Slot. There is a positive there. Joe Royal, Zidane, Andy Murray, Kamala Harris, and it's not Prince Andrew anymore. It's Andrew Mountbatten Windsor are all available as next manager. I was gonna say Andrew might be good for the youth recruitment in the team, but I probably shouldn't say that. Just about. I had to get that in there. I had to get that in there. Charlotte agrees as well. To be honest, Liverpool don't have much of a problem with youth recruitment at the moment. You could argue the issues are perhaps more the senior players and perhaps more the tactics. Can we please get Arne Slot out? I think that is where this is going. The bigger question is who do you bring in to replace him? Alonso would be a good option. Enrique would be a good option. But I almost feel like the decision of when you sack Slot is dependent on when the replacement wants to come in. Like if we take Alonso as an example, I almost feel like Alonso has maybe said he doesn't want to come in February, March. He wants to come in at the start of the season. So I think the decision is kind of pending on when the replacement wants to come in. As an example, if you remember when Brendan Rodgers got sacked and Klopp came in, Klopp kind of gave the kind of A-OK that he wants to come in October. So I think it depends on when the replacement wants to come in. Forza Juventus, says MS. I was going to say you can have Chiesa back, but to be fair, Chiesa barely gets a chance anyway, so I don't know if we can blame Chiesa. I think Stephen Hawking would be a better manager. He'd be a better manager in his current state as well. So, I mean, past Stephen Hawking and also current Stephen Hawking, whatever's left of him, would both be better managers than what we have right now. Yeah, I agree with B Swift. I generally don't like the process of changing managers too much. I do think there likely needs to be a change here, but I wouldn't want to rush it in terms of get Slot out and then panic and be like, oh my God, we need an interim. What's Jamie Carragher doing these days? Let's get him in. Let's get him off the TV. I'd like it to be a bit more methodical and a bit more planned. And I'd like to see a bit more kind of reasoning and thought behind the decision. Was he offside? Interesting. It looked he looked just about on from the angle I saw, but I'd be interested to see that again later. Jim Chocolate says just focus on winning Champions League now. That would be hilarious. It would be a bit of a carbon copy of 2005 if Liverpool did terribly in the league and won the Champions League. How you doing, Timmy? Hope you are good. Chulu says, if I was Salah, I would not respect that ball fraud as well. Imagine carrying your club to a Premier League title and getting benched in your title defense. I mean that's a whole other can of worms. But you're right. The vibe I get is that the senior players do not respect the manager. People saying Xabi forgetting Slots outclassed him twice already. True. I just think Alonso would do well with this set of players, and he's familiar with Wirtz and Frimpong, so I think he'd probably get the best out of them as well. Southgate, Jesus Christ, man! I mean, if it was Southgate, I don't know what I'd do with myself. Probably nothing good. Stefan says, Arne Slot out Katy Perry in. Well, she is a firework, and she is wide awake. And these are all attributes that we need in a manager. Basically, Slot just bought very good players and yet to figure out how to use them. You're right. The thing is, though, how long can we continue to use the word yet? I feel like he's had probably sufficient time. And even then, we're not expecting everything to work immediately, but we just need to see some kind of signs of that or some signs of progress. But I just don't feel like I've seen any sort of signs of progress. And I don't think Liverpool can risk going into a second season thinking that, okay, if we have a new season, it will be a fresh start. It won't. The same thing will happen again. Timmy says, I think City will win the league. I think they will as well. That was my prediction. If Liverpool don't win it, this was my prediction in the summer. If Liverpool don't win it, I think City will win it. Do you think Slot out? I think that decision depends on who they can bring in to replace him. Yeah, that hasn't helped, to be fair. Quite a few injuries here and there. But the thing is, it's the injuries and it's also the style of play. So I'd expect better results against, say, Bournemouth and Leeds and PSV. I think there is something crucially flawed in the style of play. It's silly. The whole goal thing was silly. I do not understand why you'd risk a sending off at 2-1 just to prevent a 3-1. Because for me, there's no difference between a 2-1 and a 3-1 if the risk is you getting sent off. Yeah, it is very slow, very predictable. I think part of the reason for the slowness is there's a lack of pace in the team now. So last year you had Diaz and Nunes who were very pacey. And I feel like now you've got Gakpo who's less pacey. So I think that's part of the reason. But I agree, it's very lethargic. Build-up takes a long time. And the downside is that when you take so long, to basically build up, the other team has time to get all 11 players back. So by the time you've got the ball into the box, there's no space to shoot. To be fair, Slot came in at the worst time of the league's competitiveness, which was last year, and then he won the league. I'd expect a bit more. I'd be fine with him not winning the league this year. I'd be fine with it to be a transitional season, but not to this extent. I think this is maybe too far. Fire Slot into the sun. I mean, if you did that, I think his bald head might damage the sun. It depends if you fire him head first or feet first. You just need to clarify that point. United winning the Prem would be funny. I mean, it wouldn't just be funny; it'd be hilarious if United win the Prem over Arsenal. I think we'll see a manager change in the summer. Will we get top 4? I agree. I think we'll see a manager change in the summer. Top 4. There's so much competition for top 4 at this point. It's not impossible, but they had a good opportunity to strengthen in the summer, which they just in January, which they didn't really do. I think you're right. In terms of calling it an ego moment, sometimes you can just get lost in the moment and lose control of your better senses. That's the only way I can rationalize it. And I think you're right, to be honest. Because looking at it rationally, it doesn't make sense to hack a player down to prevent a 3-1 when you're already 2-1 down. But yeah, I think phrasing it as a kind of ego moment where you just kind of lost control, I think that's probably the most rational way. I'd prefer Arsenal winning the league. City. City wins most of the Prem because of the bad form of other teams. To be honest, I generally don't mind City winning the league because nobody supports City. So if City wins the league, it almost doesn't matter. It's almost as if the league didn't exist. And he thought he was a quality manager, especially for the size of Liverpool. I just would have expected a bit better. Again, I can understand not winning the league, but to buy these players and then play like a lot more scared than you did last year, that I don't understand. That I don't understand. I love cinema 55. Speaking of cinema, I watched that movie the other day, The Housemaid. That was pretty good. I would recommend that. Does Slot have to go now? I mean, let's be real. He isn't going till the end of the season, but he has to. I think, generally speaking, he has to go. Liverpool don't strike me as a club who makes short-term decisions. They don't strike me as a club who would sack Slot now, bring an interim in, and then replace the interim in the summer. They seem to more kind of work based on long-term decisions. So unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on whoever you ask, I think they'll probably hold on until the summer and then get rid of him then. I think. Charlie says, "How did Haaland not get sent off? He admitted after the game he felt sorry for Szoboszlai." Oh right. Um, I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. Like there's many things. I'd say there's many things that went wrong in that game that were outside Liverpool's control, but equally there were many things that were inside Liverpool's control. In particular, the lack of performance in the first half, and in particular the how they sat back after they went ahead. That just annoys me even more, to be honest. I feel Slot should go out. We only have one. Is it only five? Jesus Christ. That is. I mean, that's kind of funny, to be honest. No Champions League for you next season. I mean, no Champions League, and probably no Europa League at this point. But to be honest, if they can't get Champions League, me personally, I wouldn't want Europa League because Europa League is kind of pointless. Yeah, Liverpool signed. So Liverpool signed Giovanni Leone, who was a centre back, and he got injured after one game. Liverpool then signed Jeremy Jacquet, who's a French defender, who's still on loan in France, and after Liverpool signed him, got injured. What more can you say? Keep Slot as long as possible. I think they will. I think they'll keep him until the summer. And I think they'll probably make a change in the summer. That's what I think will happen. I know a lot of people want him out now, and I understand that, and I feel like that as well. But Liverpool don't strike me as a club. Liverpool don't strike me as a club that would make a short-term decision. Yeah, and I think winning the Premier League title, I think that does give him a lot of weight. I think if Liverpool had not won the Premier League title, they would have probably already gotten rid of him. But I think winning the league gives him until the end of the season. And I think at the end of the season, they'll probably reevaluate and make a decision. Man City says slot in Bernardo Silva running down the wing. I mean, running through the middle, to be fair. It was a decent goal. It was a decent goal. Can't lie. Nice little flick on by Haaland. Nice finish. He's got to go now, says David. He has got to go. And what's the word? I do want him to go, but realistically, I think what will happen is Liverpool will wait for a replacement to be available, who's a long-term replacement, and then they'll make a decision. So if Alonso was to say, for argument's sake, I'm happy to come in March, then I think they'd get rid of Slot in March. But I think in all likelihood, Alonso or whoever has said, I'm ready to come in next season. So I think with that in mind, they're probably going to wait until next season. Music for Life says, you still think we have a chance of fourth position? There's still a chance. But the more you lose, the smaller the chance becomes, unfortunately. And it's not just the fact that they're leaving as well. Sorry, it's not just the fact that they're losing. It's the style in which they're losing is not particularly inspiring. Slot out. We need a proper manager. I agree. Is there anybody in particular you'd get in? This is interesting. I think we need a proper ball-winning number 6. What do you think of Wataru Endo? I love Endo. I think Endo's amazing. I think Endo has a skill set that nobody else has in the team in terms of being a pure ball winner who's always going to get stuck in with a tackle and always going to win the ball. And Liverpool don't really play with that. If you think about Klopp always played with a ball winner. Either it was Jordan Henderson. In the very early days, it was Jordan Henderson / Milner. Then it became Fabinho. Then it became Endo. So this team has traditionally always had a ball winner, but Slot doesn't like ball winners. He's more kind of bougie and more exotic and more, maybe it's the bouginess and the exoticness that is costing us. Spent too much money talking. I do think he's lost the dressing room. I agree with you 100%. How much ban will Szoboszlai get? I'm not too sure. I'm a bit too scared to Google it. I almost don't want to know the answer because I'm worried it's going to be 3. Xabi's the best for us. I would love Alonso. We also need to remember not just his Liverpool connection, but he's also very familiar with Wirtz and Frimpong from Leverkusen. David says, the thing is, if it's Alonso, it's a World Cup year. That's a fair point, to be fair. That's a fair point. So World Cup year, get rid now and use this as pre-season. I understand. I think a lot of this decision is dependent on Alonso. I don't think the decision is dependent on Liverpool. If I was to hazard a guess, I would say Alonso had I'd say Alonso did not have the best time in Madrid. So I'd presume he has now said he's going to want to take a break and he'll come in fresh. So I think the decision is dependent on Alonso. And I think Liverpool are just going to hold on for dear life until then. Yeah, Endo can't be our answer, and I agree, but he still offers something different. So I'd like to see him get a bit more playtime. I wouldn't say Endo's a long-term answer for anything, but I'd like to see him have a bit more playtime than he's getting. Gakpo has to go. He does have to go, but is anybody gonna pay for him? Stefan says, slot out Joe Biden in. Well, one of those has got dementia, and the other one is a former US president. We could not hold the ball in the first half. First half, Liverpool got absolutely dominated. Second half, they played better, but decided to change what they were doing after they went ahead. Szoboszlai's one game. Okay. Thanks for clarifying that. That's better than the 3 that I was scared. Thanos says, please get Gakpo out. Can you click your fingers? But can you click your fingers twice just to 100% ensure that guy disappears? I do not want to see Gakpo ever lining up for this team ever again. Very crazy end to the game. That's making me feel even better. Only 2 above Everton. That's a good point, to be fair. Stickers, get Alonso as a player manager. Bep says you had like 30% possession in the first half. What do you mean dominated? Did I say dominated? I said Liverpool dominated the second half, but City dominated the first half. I'd rather have conceded than lose Szoboszlai for 3. Yeah, it's brainless to get sent off there because there's no difference between a 2-1, 3-1. You might as well just take the 3-1 and stay available for more games. Why did it say 107 mins? That's how long it went off for. That's when I paused the timer. Chulu says Alonso, the Spanish slot. Amarim, he's not Premier League quality manager, just like a Premier League teacher at the bridge. What makes you say that? You might be onto something, but he did very well at Leverkusen. I think to win the league in Germany is impressive, but to do that unbeaten, I think that's particularly impressive. And in addition, he did that. He went unbeaten, and he's also familiar with Wirtz and Frimpong, so he'd be a good option. Maybe not the best option, but he'd be a good option. Farah's clarified he's not gone for 3 games, only 1. Okay, that's comforting. Greg has also confirmed that. Satu's also confirmed that. Okay, that's a bit better then. I can live with that. Last time Endo played, we were winning the ball and we had better balance. The balance is a good argument. I think the midfield is maybe a bit unbalanced, especially when Szoboszlai is not in the midfield, because you have Gravenberch and McAllister, who are quite similar-ish. And then you have McAllister and Wirtz, who are also quite similar-ish. So you almost have 3 players who are kind of similar in what they do. Endo does add better balance. And Szoboszlai also adds better balance, but Szoboszlai is unfortunately right back currently. But yeah, I'd like to see more variety in there, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Yeah, I think the Mark Gay thing was because City offered him 300 grand a week, which again is fine. Liverpool can't complain about that. Liverpool had a chance to get him in the summer and they effed up. So I almost feel like Liverpool only have themselves to blame for leaving that deal so late. Because if you leave something late, you miss out. Goal of the month for Szoboszlai, yeah. It was a good goal, to be fair, but what's the word? Tarnished by the end result. I just watched the foul. They should have just let the goal stand and gave Szoboszlai a yellow. I mean, it would have been the more rational thing to do. I'm still a bit annoyed at Szoboszlai for going for the foul, because it was 2-1. If it was 1-1, I understand, because you want to salvage the point. But is there really any difference between 2-1 and 3-1? Spurs could do well in the Bundesliga. Damn, that is an insult for the Bundesliga if I've ever seen one. Solanke still goal of the month. I mean, quite a few good goals this month. Can't lie. Jalil says slot out. I'm with you on that, and I can't lie. Every day I check the news. Part of me in the back of my head hopes that I can see. Hopes that they've replaced him, but I don't think they'll do it until the summer. Maria says, I think it was to save them from embarrassment. Yeah, I think you're right. I think number one, it was maybe a heat of the moment thing, and maybe a bit of a egotistical thing to a certain degree. But yeah, I think you're right, because 2-1 sounds like a close game, whereas 3-1 sounds like a battering. So I think you're right, and in the heat of the moment, it's hard to really evaluate that 100%. That was a crazy game, especially towards the end. I'm sure you've spoken about it already. Indeed, I have. I've been here almost 3 hours. How is it 7:30, man? How is it 7? I mean, it's 7:20, but how is that? I've been here since 4:30, so yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster, but I hope you are good. Red card was for denial of a goal scoring opportunity, but the goal wasn't denied. The ref denied it. That's Premier League referees. This is it. As AM says, score a goal and sit back. And I feel like in order to sit back, you need to be organised, but this team is not organised. So whenever they sit back, there's just holes that can be exploited, and that's what happens every single time. Yeah, it could have been about the goal difference, and as Maria says, because it was the goalie wasn't there. I think you're right. I didn't think about it previously. It was more, he was maybe just trying to save the embarrassment, heat of the moment type of thing. Luckily, it's only a one match ban. I think it's Hughes and Edwards' issue more than slight. Could be a bit of both. I think the players they've signed are good, but what has perhaps not been realised is by losing Diaz and losing Nunes, that's a significant loss of pace in the team. And a significant loss of unpredictability. Referee was awful. Up the Toffees. They're only 2 points behind now, the Toffees. So Barzilai's free kicks are very good. That's a bit of a what's the word? A bit of a positive to a bad day. As a Liverpool fan, there were things we could have done better. I feel like first half was all Man City. Second half was all Liverpool. I just wish after the first goal they'd have gone for a second. Because Man City would be trying to get up the pitch to get an equaliser, which would also have made Man City more vulnerable. But they created a situation where Man City were eager to score an equaliser, but Liverpool decided just to get everyone behind the ball. It's insane. You're also in favour of slot out. What are your reasons? I'd say generally yes. But I feel like the slot out conversation is only half of the equation. Slot out, yes, but who are you going to bring in to replace him? So I'd say if Alonso is available, yes, slot out. If Enrique is available, yes, slot out. If Gerrard says, "Giss a job, mate. I'll be interim," then no. I don't want no interim managers. I don't want no former players who are not qualified as managers. If a qualified manager is available, then yes. Should have just given City the goal. I agree. Do you think Van Dijk played good? I thought it was okay. Nothing special, to be honest with you. Okay. Yeah, you're right. The ball was going in. I would really like to know why we disrespect these lower level continental tournaments. Yeah, a trophy is a trophy. I'm just a bit, I don't know if arrogant is the word, but I just personally have no attachment to the Europa League. I'm not sure why, but it's something I can't explain. Mr. Default's currently at 76% of his donation goal. Send the link. Can you post the link in the chat? I'll put it on I'll see. I don't know if I'll try and pin it if I can. But yeah, send it. I think I said previously, send me the link as well. I will increase your 76%. Yeah, Alison and Sabazlai. Dude, you said that you met Kim Kardashian earlier. Is Central C, is he something to do with Kim Kardashian? Or is he something else? It would be better to change the nationality of Chiesa, Rio, Endo to... You might be onto something. He does favour the Dutch players. If Slot was a food, what would he be? I mean, he'd definitely be a boiled egg, right? I mean, that's almost too easy. Tuna salmon sandwich, is that a thing? Like tuna and salmon in a sandwich? I've never come across that before. Like tuna and salmon. Like tuna sandwich, yeah. Salmon sandwich, I think that is a thing. But tuna and salmon. That'd be an interesting combination. Did Sabazlai cook or get cooked? Both. Everything is red, I agree. What happened, mate? Liverpool lost yet another game. Pretty much only turned up in the second half. You look like football live streams. I think he looks like me. That's my evil twin brother. Still had faith we were going to win the league. I'm guessing I need to let go of that hope. Yeah, I think at this point it's extremely unlikely. I maybe had faith until around Christmas time, but when Liverpool was still conceding to Leeds, losing to Bournemouth, at that point I was like, yeah, this team is not winning league this year. I'm so done with this. The time is 1 o'clock at midnight in India. I sacrifice my sleep for this abomination. I mean, abomination is very strong words, but you are correct in that wording. It's abomination after abomination, and then they'll win a game, and then have you noticed as soon as they win a game, they'll then release all these silly social media videos of, you know, what's your favorite type of biscuit, what's your favorite chocolate bar, do you like Dairy Milk or Galaxy? They'll release those videos when things are going well, but when things are going well, they don't release anything. They don't release anything like that. Jamie Carragher, oh please no, please God no. I would rather have you, Chulu, as a Chelsea supporter. I'd rather have you supporting or coaching Liverpool. Imagine him steering Liverpool to a top 4 finish. The last time I saw Jamie Carragher steering, he spat at a little girl. So I'd rather Carragher did not do any steering. Thank you very much. Is Slot sacked then? Not, to be honest, unlikely. They'll probably sack him in the summer. You're right. We're even lucky to be where we are. I agree with this, and somebody was disagreeing with me on this the other day, where I was saying these videos they're all filmed weeks and weeks ahead of time, and then they release them at the right time. They may release a PR video, but it will be perhaps more of a charitable thing to improve morale from that aspect. So it won't be like a fun thing. It'll probably be more of like a kind of charitable type of thing. But yeah, all these things they're all filmed weeks in advance. And a good way to tell is if Kanate is in the next video and he's got hair. Then you know they filmed it weeks ahead. Harrison says, sit down. I am sitting down. I'm firmly sitting down in this chair. I think they will only sack him, number one, when they can bring in a suitable replacement, which will probably most likely be in the summer. Bring back Klopp. I need saving from the embarrassment. It is reaching that point. Christmas, your title defense. Yeah, but that's the same thing, right? Christmas, so Christmas is like 3rd, 4th week of December, but close enough. It didn't let you post it on TikTok. Have you posted it on YouTube? Where are you? Oh, it's on your TikTok bio. Okay. Nice. Let me make a note so I don't forget. Is my comments coming in? Sometimes TikTok is a bit slow with the comments. YouTube is typically a bit faster. Slotted. Oh, my slotty boy. Interesting wording. Don't say that too fast. Stays in charge. To be honest, he probably will stay in charge. I don't think he'll get sacked in the morning, to be honest. I think they will probably keep him until the summer. Stefan says I'm not on TikTok. Put it on YouTube. Does it let you post the link? Maybe I have to do it. Give me a sec. If I search for Mr. Default, do you come up? Oh yeah. Why is Harvey Elliott on your page? Why is there Harvey Elliott? I almost don't want to click on that because I feel like it will be some Liverpool slander. Oh shit! Give me a sec. Let me just post the actual link. That's a. There you go. Charity skydive. There you go. That should be there now. Very disappointing to see you guys lose that from an Arsenal fan. Understandable. Slot deserves to be sacked. He does deserve to be sacked. But realistically, I have a feeling they'll probably hold on until the summer. How could Liverpool throw that away? I'm already thinking we are 9 points clear. It's the Liverpool way. They go ahead. And as soon as they go ahead, they then sit back and then they concede. It's the same thing. Tim says, how you doing? I've been better. How's things with you? That is a point. Klopp was one of our best coaches in history, yet we failed to give him the opportunity to spend the money we spent on the Paul fraud. Who's wearing a navy jacket. I mean, what does the navy jacket have to do with anything? But I'm curious because I also noticed the navy jacket. I was thinking, why is he wearing a navy jacket? But yeah, you just wish when Klopp was crying out for a player, they would have given him one. I mean, that is a silver lining to a certain degree. Oh right, fair enough. I figured it was some sort of slander thing. What was Alisson doing? Not much. Did you see the new Bundesliga theme song? I have not, but is it good? Ian says Blue Moon. I'm glad I watched the game muted, so I didn't hear it. Yeah, this is literally it. They go ahead, they sit back just to protect the lead, and they concede. It's the same thing, game after game. Zlatan needs to go. There's no style of play. I agree with you there. And there's no will to attack in the team. I also agree with you there. And I also feel like the players have lost confidence in him. The players are not playing for him. It's like I almost feel like the players are waiting for the inevitable. 66 at right back was Szoboszlai. Neither, but if you pushed me, Szoboszlai. But if the answer was, my cat at right back or 66, I'd pick my cat. Grace says, are you still live? I am. I'm trying to get to the end of the comments so I can go. So I can kind of wrap up and go. But it's I'm still quite far behind, to be honest. Stefan wears a navy jacket. I have, to be honest, I've got a navy jacket as well. But let's say they look better on me and you than they do on Slot. Except for Szoboszlai, do you see any other Liverpool player giving it their all? Not really. Szoboszlai and maybe Frimpong. But the others don't really seem like they are really giving it their all, to be honest with you. Monk says, we had so many chances to go up before Szoboszlai's free kick. It's so frustrating. It's very frustrating. They should have been... by that point, there should have been at least 2 goals. What annoys me is, okay, they went ahead from the Szoboszlai free kick, but then why change what you're doing? Why change the approach? You're ahead. You just got a goal. Get a second goal. Get a third goal. But they decided just to change everything. And it's the same. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Game after game. Oh God, he's getting Lampard comparisons. That's when you know things are bad. Oh no, you threw your AirPod at the wall. Hope they survive. They're pretty robust, to be fair. I've never thrown them, but I've dropped them a couple of times. Take care, Stefan. See you Wednesday. But yeah, speaking of, I better go as well. Because I've been here for 3 hours. Is that a wave? I nearly broke my telly. That game was so frustrating in the second half. Especially because there were so many opportunities, I think, to get a second goal, to get a third goal. To only get one and to then sit back. Annoying as hell. Grace says, thought my phone was tricking me. Yeah, I am still here. But I should really go now because it's almost 8 o'clock. So I need my Apple Watch is complaining. I've not done any exercise today. So I need to go for like a walk for 1 hour. But yeah, take care, guys. Enjoy your evening. I certainly will not. Just hope you guys make top 4 rather than that stupid Man Juve club. I like that. More of that, please. More of that. Take care, Moscalt. Take care, Grace. As I said, be back on. Be back. top one incoming. Be back on Wednesday. Take care, Sean. I bet you can name 30 managers. That might be one for the next stream, or maybe you can leave it as a comment on this stream, and then I'll get back to you. But yeah, I better go because it's pretty dark outside, and I need to do my walk for today because otherwise my watch is gonna complain. But yeah, take care, guys. Have a nice evening, whatever's left of it, and yeah, see you on Wednesday.